So hello, everybody and everybody hopping on and welcome to day one of the Newborn Tryouts. I'm your host Dax, and we're gonna be getting into this one in just a bit. So here in the Newborn Tryouts is a pretty simple format coming our way. Now, apparently, I'm getting these information on the fly right here, right now, guys. There will be three map matchups for the days. So in terms of the SR rating, the bronze to gold gonna be playing on Oasis, Hollywood, and Anubis. In the meantime, for Plat to Diamond, Ilios, Kings Row, and Volskaya, there might be a few instances where there's going to be overlap, but more or less, we're going to be seeing two different sets for the Newborns tryout. So what is the Newborns, guys? Newborns is another pet project here by WatchOver PH. They're looking to form a little bit of a sort of academy teams to actually help out those on the lower SRs to try and get better, to try and have a more competitive environment to actually play on in the PH community. So I've seen a lot of members of the different communities in the Philippine scene actually come on together to try out. I think it's around 30 to 40 people actually trying out right here, right now. And you can still try out. You can hop in. It's a pretty chill format using the commands to actually help you guys out in getting through the system. All you gotta do is join the Discords and be able to contact Anandin. The format is as follows. Let me sec. So it really is. It's pretty puggy in the same the least. You just have to make sure that you are registered. You put down your player info, and you make sure that admin knows that you are trying to go for that tryout either today or on Saturday. If you can't make it, there might be a special session coming your way. So we'll see what we can do about that one. Make sure that all the profiles are gonna be publics, as they are trying to verify if there are gonna be Smurfs into this one. And I'm just gonna be casting the action, having some fun, checking out what the community has to offer in terms of their gameplay and their success. Anyway, though, turn off CTR music. No, that's Lucia music, man. That is some Lucia music right there, right then. And in the meantime, guys, I'm just gonna be fixing up a few things, and we'll be right back shortly as soon as the first game is set underway. We are gonna be going into Oasis, so hopefully this one is gonna be fun. I'll see you guys in a bit, and we'll see what the newborns have to offer in this matchup. Okay, guys. While we're waiting for some games to go on, so what can we talk about the newborns right here, right now? So again, we said a while ago that this is gonna be a three map matchup basically for the division. So we're gonna be seeing six maps along the way. It really is just, we just gotta wait for the players to come online. Of course, on lower echelons, you gotta be patient. You gotta understand that most of these guys not really too used to the competitive environment, to say the least. We're just waiting on trying to see what's it's gonna be when they are gonna be coming online. So far, we do have the following players on both sides. Uh, we have Wolfgang Max Okri. Okay, I got it. Max Ock. I call him Max Ock. Moises Sparktick, Saltarex, a Dead Pulse on the blue hand side. If the red, we have a Rusky Blades 1, JD, Ugly Rats, Nameless 2031, and oh, Twitch Prime. Very ample name right there. Not in charge. So anyone asking me about things, I'm not in charge for this. I'm just here to watch the action. I'm just here to enjoy. I'm just here to be able to do commentary into our player base. What else is going on? So if you guys do want to join, I think you can actually hop online still today at the same time. At the same time, there is gonna be a Saturday session as well at this time. So, it's gonna be 2 different days, and I know they're gonna be willing to do a third just in case. Anyway, we are just waiting on for a 12 player to come online. It's gonna be pretty exciting. So lineups might be shuffled around. If you were able to watch the Team PH tryouts, it's pretty much a little bit of a inspired system. Obviously, we had more of specific things going on with specific schedules. This one more of a casual one. If you can hop in right now, feel free to do so. If not, then you have that second session. But of course, the more sessions you do have, the more opportunities you do have to be showcased, and the more opportunities you have to impress anyone and everyone actually trying to vie for these slots. So in terms of map pool, Oasis and Ilios are control maps. So Oasis, not having a little bit of that more open areas. Maybe you can see some more dive. They have that one map that allows Ryan Zara to sign with some Sombra on that university. But more or less, all about going around, all about hopping in and out of the action. In the meantime, Ilios, very different. You have a really good sniper map. You have a map where it's pretty clustered in a more urban area, and finally you have a map with a big hole in the middle, so you can see different antics and different scenarios that you can actually play on the blue and white control map. What else do we have? So in terms of hybrid, we got Hollywood and Kings Row. Okay, these ones are classic. Hollywood and Kings Row are pretty old maps already in the Overwatch scene. Kings Row, nothing more to say. Rhine Zarya is pretty much the way to go. All you gotta do is just push forward. You can still play Orisa Sigma, of course. Double Shield is still meta, but this has always been the map where Ryan Zarya is king. In the meantime, Hollywood, a little different. You can do a lot of different strategies. You can go for the Bastion, you can go for the Bomb Rush, you can go for a all-in push with some far action, you can go for some Bunker Bust, a lot of different things that you can actually try and change around with. Moving into an indoor area where you have to decide if my composition from the outside will still work. Do I swap or not? Do I steamroll? What do I expect? What kind of staggers I can do? Finally, our two CP maps are going to be Anubis and Volskaya. We've seen Anubis a bunch, to say the least, in the World Cup and everything. Anubis is a very open map, but it doesn't really have too much room for snipers unless you do specify that is your strategic points. Instead, most people can go for the CQC action, go for a double barrier bomb rush tactic, or go for the dive, go straight to the points, and move on forward to actually brawling to that second area. In the meantime, Volskaya, a little more open. You can see the Bastion, you can see a sniper to a lot of different space to actually work around with in the first place. And overall, all these maps gonna be giving us a little bit of different strokes for different folks. So anyway, right now, we are just finishing things up. And finally, it does seem like we are good to go for our first game. Just checking out what the maps can be in the first place. My little cat's hopping around. Hello, Coco. Do you want to be on stream also? Because we're not doing anything. Coco. So this is Coco the cat. This is a very professional stream, guys, and she's just like, what do I do? Is she gonna cast the action with me? That's the real question. What's up? What do you need? Okay, goodbye. So finally, we are gonna be getting started in just a bit. We'll make sure all the players are ready to go, and we are gonna get started in a moment's notice. Now it seems like teams have been swapped around, and this time it is going to be Inoriusu, Flash, Oily Beer, Salt RX, Deadpools, and Wolfgang on Team Blue. In the meantime, here for the red hand side, it's Go With The Flow, Twitch Prime, Max, Dumbledore, Rusky Blades, and JD for the red hand side. So just quick little FYI, guys, full disclosure, this is a pet project here by WatchOver PH. I'm just here to cast, just here to watch. I don't think my input's gonna be anyhow important in terms of the official thing. So what I do say is more or less my own opinion and not of WatchOver PH's. Full disclosure, huh? Full disclosure, full disclaimer. I may say some things that are obviously trying to analyze more or less how the gameplay flow is going, what each role can do better, that kind of thing. It doesn't honestly matter on your bearing, so don't be afraid that you're a little like I'm roasting you or not, or praising you or not, that kind of thing. Don't be afraid of that. We're just using this to be as constructive as possible and work to make everyone and anyone better into our games. So also, guys, don't forget that the giveaway stuff is going on, as well as the drops. So the Mercy drops, again, cumulative 246, as well as that BlizzCon 2019 poster. If you are a long-time viewer, you can keep making some redemptions. Still though, since we are in a tournament setting, I have turned off all notifications. Gonna give some shoutouts later on, just like the one gift sub there from Flo to Mr. Dom. So it's all good in the hood. So let me just check real quick who else has been going for that support here in the stream. It seems like we are gonna start in just a bit. Very, very excited to go whenever. I'm gonna go whenever. Thank you for the follow, guys, like Lucas, Sarah, Spriketic, and I see some people claiming some more raffle entries along the way. A few hours ago, Alex with so many raffle entries, to say the least. It's time, guys. They are moving over to their Discord. If you are parts of the WatchOver PH Discord, you can see that they are all hopping in, out, and around, trying to figure out where to go, where to be in the first place. Again, there is that stream delay right here, right now, just to make sure that there is no comsat, there is no cheating, that kind of thing. We have to be as professional as possible. We have to make sure everyone is good to go on their own terms, as well as the proper outlets. So are you guys ready? Are you guys excited for some Overwatch action? I wonder if this is big enough or small enough. We'll just see. I got sent the icon there from WatchOver PH. We're gonna be able to check out the action as we get into Oasis. So the first game, I've been informed that the brackets have been mixed up instead, but we're still gonna go for our map pools. First one out of 3. Here we go into Oasis. Newborns Blue on the blue hand side, Newborns Red, no names yet, but we're gonna see who's gonna be playing into this one. So welcome, guys, to game number 1. In order to use Twitch Prime, Oily Beer, Salt RX, Deadpools, and Rusky Blades on the blue hand side. Go with the Flow, Flash, Max Ockery, Dumbledore, Wolfgang, and JD on the red. Now again, the brackets have been mixed up, so this is more or less a free-for-all tryout, to say the least. Now, I wonder if this is going to be a BO5 or only a BO3. We want to see just maybe all the maps be able to show on a PSE1, though, is the name of the game. So if anyone's playing from abroad, it's going to be a little difficult, of course, to actually check things out. Anyway, hype is here. Let's get into this one. Newborns Blue on the blue hand side, Newborns Red on the red. There we go. It's gonna be Ryan Zarya between Ilios and Twitch Prime. Oily Beer deciding to play that Junkrat. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see the Junkrat in the first place here on Gardens. You don't really have too much spam lines unless they keep going into the Shisha room. So we'll see if Oily Beer can set on up. If he is able to get to the high ground though, that'll be anyhow effective. Still the funnels not as good, but still decent to make the Grenadier work. In the meantime, we have Salt Rex on that Genji, Dead Pulse on the Moira, and Rusky Blades on that Ana. I'm very interested to see though how this will change in terms of the new patch. There are a lot of different things. Barrier Watch might be dead, or maybe a more aggressive comp instead of trying to hang on back. Anyway though, go with the flow, leading the charge here for the Reinhardt on the right-hand side. Flash can be alongside him on that Zarya. Doubler though, playing the Reaper instead, looking for the assassination, dropping down to Oily Beer, but that's gonna be Oily Beer blowing him up instead. 2 frags already for the Junkrat, and if you walk in a straight line like that, you're gonna get punished by those grenades. Another trigger though, go with the flow, stepping onto that one. Flash on to the south-hand side. The Fire Strike is there though. The right-hand side with initial capture, even with the Junkrat getting those frags along the way. Now, interesting start here in the Newborns blue side. They got some picks, and Oily Beer is getting closer and closer to that Riptire, to say the least. Flash though, with the frag on to Salt Rex, will be able to get that takedown. Vikings are bound, and he has a good amount of energy, to say the least. Now Max hiding by the windows. It's very interesting. No real point to do that. He's gonna go for flashback though. Garrett the Surge available. Now he's gonna let it rip. No combo whatsoever. So instead, it's gonna be pure damage. Oily Beer blowing up one with that total mayhem. But a shatter here from Flo, cleaning up the seizure room. It seems like it's all gas and no substance from the blue hand side. Good work though from the tank line. Go with the Flow and Flash working really well together to try and protect. Flash though a little too early, jumping the gun with that Graviton Surge when no one really was able to do damage behind it. They got punished instead. Oily Beer actually blowing someone up with the Martyr. Max should not walk into that one, to say the least. Interesting to note, they are playing Lucian Batiste. This is not really a composition of supports you usually see, but Wolfgang with the Amphatrix might be able to enable Max or make himself even stronger with those new Batiste changes. Anyway, in order Yusu, ready for the shatter. Here we go with the Amphatrix set on up. Go with the flow though. Good Fire Strike takes care of Rusky. The Nano Blade will not go online anytime soon. Team 1, the blue hand side, trying their best to try and go for some picks, but they're staggering themselves in a situation where the percentage doesn't really suit them. Salt Rex still on the point. In the meantime, the red hand side just completely dominating the action. The problem here for Salt Rex is he's hiding on the inside. Dumbledore now going for the fade on in. Where is Salt? He uses the rooftop, I believe. He's gonna go for that deflect. And now the blade is in hand. Gonna dash on forward. Where is Rusky? Has to press that Q. Not gonna do it yet. Finally though, here we go with the Nano Blade. Will he get a pick off? Yes, he does. It was so telegraphed, but still no one shutting that one down. Shatter as well from Minoru Yusu, and everyone throwing everything but the kitchen stick here for the blue hand side. And still, yeah, they do get that capture. So far, so good into this one. In the meantime, though, we have Max and Dumbledore ready with the Deadeye, ready with the Death's Blossom as well. So the red hand side can go for the speed boost in and go for the Beyblade, letting it rip and letting everyone go to town. Still though, the blue hand side trying to figure out where they're coming from. They see people by the Shisha room, and here we go with JD casually walking into that one. Sure, that works. Double the right now. Rain form into the Death Blossom. No one shutting that one down. Inoru Yusu going for the charge. Here we go with the Deadeye from Max. He's looking for a target or two. Does get Inoru Yusu. And the right hand side should be able to get this headshot now. Dinging Dead Pulse. Not enough of the AD strafe there from the Moira. And as overtime ticks away, it seems like the red hand side has been able to really outclass them in terms especially of that tank line. Interesting, the Lucian Batiste not really putting too much of an impact in the first place, so we'll see if their support line can actually pick things up. So anyway, the blue hand side now swapping things over. Might be a wrecking ball into this one. Oily Beer though, still on that Junkrat, looking to stick on, and this time it gets a little more questionable to play this hero in a more open setup. Instead, you want to go for that Pharah, gonna be anyhow effective. Gardens was okay, University is a little better as well, but not here in City Center, to say the least. Anyway, Salt Rex going for that McCree instead. Their Nano Blade didn't work, so it's time to go for a few shots instead. Max though swapping over to that Genji, and it's still Wolfgang playing the Batiste. This time though, who is really gonna Amphatrix by this point? Not really the best synergy. Might be better to go for that Lucio instead. In the meantime though, Flash gonna be on that Diva alongside Go With The Flow. Now, you might be thinking, why am I criticizing hero picks as well? Well, I'm trying to see if these players are gonna be using a little more of that critical thinking in terms of matchups, or will they be sticking to their comfort heroes. You can see both Oily and Wolf right now displaying comfort. Junkrat and Batiste seems like their player profiles do say so in the first place. Still though, blue hand side playing double barrier instead. Twitch Blind and Ryusu trying to work together. It's not the worst kind of shield dance in the first place as they're playing on the backhand side. Dive now, getting completely punished by the two shield bearers as well as the McCree going for shot after shot after shot. And the problem of playing the Batiste also against this double barrier right now is none of your shots are gonna go through. Not gonna be enough healing. It's all up to JD right here, right now. That's why you want to go for that Lucia Moira instead. In the meantime though, in order to use it, trying to take care of Wolfgang, able to do so with some help there from Oily Beer. Concussive Mine gonna get tossed pretty well. Early eye field puts the Batiste in a bad spot. Easy takedown there, and then Doubler in the meantime, waiting on the left hand side, trying to go for a flank. And now Oily Beer trying to go for a ML7 play right here, right now, all the way from behind. Riptide blows up too! Fun stuff right there, right then. But at the same time, no one really paying attention to Oily Beer and his antics. Now he goes for a 3-for. Well done there to our Junkrat player. All about flash and power, and it seems like the blue hand side now, they're like, no, we're not gonna win without style, without substance, and Oily Beer is providing it for our community to watch. So anyway, Saltarix now Deadeye available. Dumbledore forced the raid form, gets him back in time, but it's way too much damage. Doesn't turn around to actually go for the assassination instead. Deflect now in the face of Saltarix, and oh, Max man, the deflect comes in instead. You want to use your ability in that instance. You don't want to just walk on in. Very close, Deadeye from Salt, but we do have the barrier set on up here for the red hand side. Now Wolfgang with the Amp Matrix, trying to go for that extra healing, but Oily Beer again into the air he goes. The flying Junkrat making believers, again, not the best map, but he's using it to the best degree. So far so good here for the blue hand side. Oily Beer looking to try to go for that triple jump, maybe even a quadruple if he comes from spawn. In the meantime though, Dumbledore now waiting at the wings. Flash has gone over to that Roadhog, and really just being on that Batiste, really hampering the red hand side and their opportunities. Now someone has the touch. It's gonna be going with the flow, going on down. Flash gonna get trapped as well. Dumbledore so far away from the Death Blossom hasn't been anyhow effective so far into this game. And now Blade out of desperation here from Max does get Rusky though. The Ana will get chopped off out. Deadpool's right now with a Coalescence. Oily Beer with the Riptire. And the Junkrat is so effective in scenarios where you cannot really work with your tank line. Still though, very impressive with that Riptire transitioning to the other side, pressing that Q. Has been watching some streams and some highlights to get that inspiration. Saltarix now, Deadeye, Flow gonna get taken down, and the blue hand side able to even things up.
Score 1-1.
BO5 or BO3? That's a good question.
Ready for
But by this point in time, I think the most important parts is that you play this third map. Don't really understand what everyone's going on. They played both City Center as well as Garden, so it should be time to play onto University instead. You'll be able to showcase what everyone's got to do. You don't really need to win the matchup. You can play scrim rules instead. So what does that entail? You play it as a BO5, but if you finish the 3 maps, then you can call it quits. What else does that mean? In Hybrid, in Escorts, in Assaults, it's if the other side isn't able to finish the map, you reset the map and you swap the sides to enable them to play the full matchup. Anyway though, Rusky Blades gonna be playing the solution right now, going for the boop. No one really gonna get tossed into that hole right there, and then Flow and Flash playing that Ryan Zarya. That's what I was talking about. University allowing the brawl. Oh, beautiful halt there from Minoru Yusu. We'll get 2 on down. Now this is the opportunity for the blue hand side to speed boost on in. 6v4 scenario as the transition is there. They are trying to body their opponent, but they're gonna get caught by a pincer attack. Oh, JD all alone will get taken down. Flash, awkward positioning. The Zarya gonna be in a bad spot, but able to stay alive. Now Oily Beer trying to play the funnel gameplay and will be able to pressure his opposition on the right hand side. Now for the Junkrat, you just want to keep spanning one of the doorways to force your opposition to go to the other where your team is waiting on in. Saltarix still on this Kree. Go with the flow right now, pushing forward. Wolfgang has that Amp Matrix available. It really goes to show they need to play a little bit of more hit scan to make this Batiste pick work. I feel now toss, and it's gonna be a Nap Matrix there as well. Wolfgang though, losing the I feel already. The Bear Trap getting taken down. Here we go with the grenades. Oily Beer ready, rip the Riptire, and will he press that Q? Well, that's gonna be an interesting question. Twitch Prime though, 2 frags on the board. Correct here, making the things happen in Oasis right now. Gonna get that 3rd frag on the board. Get the blue hand side, just completely dominating the fights. It's gonna be a struggle here for Newborn's Red to actually try and penetrate this, especially with the Riptire waiting all the way on the opposite end. For now though, Riptire, Deadeye, Coalescence, Soundbarrier. 4 ultimates ready to go. Coming online with that supercharger as well. Cycles of 2 and 3s might be in the cards here for the blue hand side. In the meantime, the Shatter might be used here if I go with the flow. Go for the beat as well. Being bounced around. And here we go with the Soundbarrier on the inside. Still gonna be able to get all 6. Shatter now coming online. Salt Irex though, up on top. The shield play from Go with the flow. He has to hold that one strong. And the eye field from Wolfgang actually saving the day. Oily Beard though, blowing up the gadget of all things. And now blows up Wolfgang along the way. The blue hand side, able to cascade and take care of the red. And how did that just go wrong there for the red hand side? They protected against the Deadeye, they protected against the Riptire, but by that point in time they were in an awkward position. They were stuck between 2. And for the time being now, the blue hand side of Newborn's Blue able to get the reflip 50% to 80. One last flash, 1 fight territory here for the red hand side. So Max has the blade available. Dumbledore right now has the Deadeye as well. And we'll see what the red team has in store for us. Flux now coming. Gravity Surge is there. Dash on it to go for the blade. But a Deadeye there from Dumbledore. High ground being taken really well. Max now cutting heads and cutting names. Gonna be able to slam his name into victory right here, right now. The red hand side though, able to push a team kill to actually clean that one up. And well played there to the Newborn Red squad. There we go with the Graviton Surge. Good hold from Ilios, just not enough. Dumbledore though, making an impact with the Deadeye. Unscouted by both Ilios as well as Twitch Prime. A little unfortunate there, but still, the red hand side living to fight another day. Still though, Wolfgang has the Ab Matrix available, looking for a shot or 2. In the meantime, another good hold. Ilios able to get that value earlier into the first fight. Oh, Max gonna eat the rock and will be pretty much tossed back into spawn. Shatter now coming online, doesn't get much. Here we go with the charge. Dumbledore though with a frag on the Saltarex, and he's still taking this higher ground. Olivier now letting it rip. This might be a big one. Yes, it is. It's gonna be 3 with the Riptire. No one able to take that one down, and when no one goes for the shot onto the tire, he's gonna just blow you up instead. The blue hand side taking names, taking the win perhaps, but it's all up to Max onto that Reaper. Rock though being tossed. Twitch Prime gonna get that frag there, and then Wolfgang coming on back, and here we go with Go with the Flow, swapping over to the Wrecking Ball instead. Desperation time here for the red hand side. They're able to get 4, but Dumbledore walks into that one. Usually when you want your tank line to step while you go for the mid-range shots, but in order to use perfect positioning on that barrier, and now 4 frags on the board, the Newborn's Blue squad will take Oasis 2-1. So as we get that playout game, give me a sec guys, we'll be right back. There you go guys, that was the first game in our session. Now we aren't keeping score since I believe the players are going to be mixed around, matched up in different aspects. But overall, right here, right now, MVP Zoilbeer on that Junkrat, really showing that he's very comfortable on the hero. Now, the problem is, with playing the Junkrat, it punishes, of course, these low-tier gameplays, especially when going for that Riptire. So Zoilbeer, yes, impressing, but I would love to see him on a different hero. In the meantime, Dumbledore was decent on that first map, able to get some value with the Reaper, but at the same time, really struggling to make a name for himself on the second. On the third though, taking a pretty good flank on that high ground, able to get a shots after shot after shot. Now in terms of the support line, it might be a little bit of a struggle for your whole team when you can only play one hero. So Wolfgang, I'd love to see him actually decide to swap things out, go for something else beside the Batiste. You can really see when there's no one to combo up with the Batiste in the first place, then it's not going to get any value. JD though and Rusky trying different things, trying to make things work. You might want to look to combo up with their DPS. In the meantime, I really enjoyed the tank lines from both. No reason Twitch Pride going for that double barrier, winning out for their team there and then. In the meantime, Flow and Flash just dominating fight after fight as well. But the blue hand side able to edge it out, especially with all the spam damage coming their way from their Junkrats. So anyway, guys, that was the first game. Right now, I see some stars there on the tank line, so we'll see if they can impress anytime soon into Hollywood, as that's gonna be game number 2. Now, the sides have been moved around, and Flash has dropped on out for Aki to come on in instead. And we're using on the blue hand side with Aki. This time, it's Oily Beer and Dumbledore, Deadpulse, and JD for Team Blue. In the meantime, here for the red hand side, it's Flow Twitch Prime with Max, Salt RX, Wolfgang, and Rusky Blades 1. So in Hollywood, it's going to be very interesting since it's not really control anymore. It's not all about fights. It's about positioning. It's about trying to figure out what kind of player you're going to go for, what kind of composition, how you're going to tackle things. It's going to be very important to distinguish yourselves in going for the points compared to going for that payload. Now, it seems like both sides are just trying to fix out their voice comms. We'll take a little bit of a break. We'll be back as soon as the game starts.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Okay guys, welcome back, and now we are into game number 2. The roles, the players have been swapped around. Now it's Inamarisu, Aki, Oily Beer, Max, Deadpulse, and JD on the blue hand side with Flow, Twitch Prime, Dumbledore, Salter Rex, Wolfgang, and Rusky Blades on the red. Now again, the red hand side gonna be on the attack first, and this is map number 2 out of 3 in terms of this map pool sets. We'll be seeing the other set of Ilios as well as King's Row and Volskaya Industries, I believe, for our second hour. So though we did start late, so we're probably gonna end late. Hopefully you guys have been tuning on in, get those beats for the giveaway, get some time for your mercy sprays, and be able to enjoy. Support your friends! Support everyone who is trying on out for the newborn squad. Anyway though, Aki and Inoriusu this time, and it's Inoriusu showing his flexibility. He's gonna go on over to that off-tank role instead. For some reason though, ping a little high on my end. What's up? What's going on into this one? Now anyway, it's gonna be, here we go with Oil Beer on that Junkrat still. We'll see it's gonna be anyhow effective in the first place. Max gonna be playing the Soldier 76. Well, many people joke that it's a dead hero. If you want to get comfy on that hit scan, it's really just like a my first hit scan kind of thing. When you get better, you go for that McCree, go for that Ash, you go for that Widowmaker, especially to get pick after pick after pick. Solo Tactical Visor, if left unchecked, gonna be anyhow effective, and that extra healing doesn't hurt. Go with the flow though, playing the dive, and here we go. It is gonna be pretty much old school dive for the red hand side in terms of the tank line and the DPS. Interesting enough though, they are going to be playing the Mercy and the Batiste together. Now they're trying to compensate for running only the Batiste with that Mercy. Still the Batiste not gonna get any real value with that Amp Matrix, but we'll see how it's gonna fly. Aki now looking to Rampage, getting a few hammer swings, and overall the dive is gonna get mitigated there, and then just not enough. There's not enough support right here right now, and Dom gonna swap over to the Pharah instead. That's a very quick swap outs. Actually deciding, okay, the Tracer's not gonna work. I'm gonna go for the Pharah instead. But if you're gonna play the dive like that, you want to be able to get in position first and foremost. Use the Genji and the Tracer to go for flanks. The D.Va and the Winston can come together as well. Still though, the fight isn't over yet as Dom now on a more comfortable Pharah flying up on top. Now this is very well scouted here from Dumbledore as well. He noticed that Oilbeer really just wants to prefer playing that Junkrat, and he will be looking to punish the Junkrat by not allowing him to get shot after shot after shot onto the Pharah's body. It's very important as well, using that aerial advantage versus the ground. But speaking of the ground, oh, Oilbeer way too close to go for that Riptire, and Dumbledore gonna get that takedown there, and then Rusky Bladezone popping that Valkyrie, and well done here to the red hand side to take the action there, and then now the problem with going for the Riptire that close and all the way in the front line means that when you spawn the Riptire, it will go down easily. Compared to a while ago on Oasis, that was a flank, that was a surprise antic coming from the side, and it was enough to pretty much show up the tank line. This time though, Dumbledore has been tracking his opposition, looking for a barrage opportunity as well, and 4 minutes 30 on the clock. We'll see how this is gonna go. Oh, that the spam coming from Oilbeer, getting Wolfgang. Still though, the Batiste rests back up to life by Rusky Blades. Salt RX right now ready with that Dragon Blade on the horizon. Salt RX though, cutting down Max. The dive here on the red hand side, actually working on that. They're taking high ground right here, right now. Aki though, deciding, okay, since everyone is up on top and my team is dead behind me, I'm gonna go for that point, I'm gonna go for that payload, and just bother anyone trying to go for the push. Self-destruct though, interesting enough from Twitch Prime. Gonna get blocked up by Aki, sure. And here we go with the remake all the way in the front line. Apex is coming, grab that surge as well! And both tanks deciding it's time to clean on up. Still though, go with the flow, trying to force things out. He's gonna go for that Primal Rage, looking to rampage, looking to get a pick off or two, but by this point in time, didn't need to go for that Primal, will just pretty much get punished along the way instead. And the problem there with popping the Primal Rage like that is you're feeding a lot of ult charge to your opponents. Anyway though, Oilbeer getting a pick up onto Salt RX, Max shooting down Dumbledore as well. And this is a good way to actually mitigate the weaknesses of both DPS. Running that Soldier 76 allows some hit pressure onto Dom. He can't just run out in the open and just have a free time or two. In the meantime, Salt RX might get punished. Oh, speaking of the punish again, Oilbeer holding that left click strong, spam after spam after spam. This guy, I'm gonna get the 2 DPS who just run into that one. Twitch Prime though, backing on out. And here we go with Concuss Mind to toss as well. Now still, 3 ultimates ready to go. And the thing about the Dead Boys on that Moira, he's not popping that Coalescence when it really is an ability you can just use anytime soon. Now Dom popping that Rocket Barrage, not gonna get much done as it is out in front. This time though, Oilbeer with the sneaky antics, goes for the Riptire from the side, a lot more effective than doing it in the front. Go with the flow though, 1 HP energy, being kept alive. Salt RX forcing things out with the Dragon Blade. But Max now trying to counter things with the Tactical Visor. Here we go with Death Pulse with that Coalescence as well. It shoots down the Genji. No real need though to save it. That's what the JD and the Sound Barrier is for. You want to use the Coalescence for tempo instead. Anyway though, in all that shenanigans and all those antics, it seems like the blue hand side able to still defend. JD though, ready with that Sound Barrier. Max gonna get another pickup onto Dom, who swaps over the Tracer yet again. So another interesting comp swap here from Dom and Salt RX is gonna be the McCree versus the Soldier 76 trying to play that mid-range. I'd love to see someone actually whip out a sniper or two to be anyhow effective. Anyway though, here we go with the Supercharger, go with the flow, quite low already, needs to put up the barrier or two. Twitch Prime playing that Roadhog, but when you play the Hog, you want to go for the Hulk Hook instead. It seems like Twitch Prime is just looking for an opportunity by himself, go with the flow, trying to go for the sync. Supercharger is there as well, but it just isn't happening. Now, a good eye field here from Wolfgang. He's putting it into the corner. It is able to more or less maximize its duration. There you go with the takedown. Now, Riptire again going for the adventure, and the adventure ends very quickly with a double kill along the way. Now, what is going on here for the red hand side? Now, first, we get a DC. Okay, cool. That's a little bit of an issue, but no problem. But so far in this game, this is the perfect funnel here for Oilbeer to do his magic. He's able to go for the same flank again and again with the same Riptire. No one is scouting that, as well as tossing grenades in the front, getting all the spam to work. Now, Twitch Prime is on that Roadhog. It means that they are looking They should be looking rather for that hold hook instead, but it seems like Go With The Flow is just protecting, trying to make a play, but Twitch Prime is trying to go fishing on his own. So a little bit of a sink in that department is necessary. Still though, Wolfgang on the Batiste, and it seems like the red hand side has decided to adjust accordingly for this Batiste pick, with Salt Rex going for that McCree, the Roadhog as well of Twitch Prime. Gonna be effective to go for that right click spam to get a little bit of that shield break action to work. Anyway though, Aki, Norisu, both with ultimates ready to go, and JD ready with that sound barrier as well. So we'll see what the blue hand side can do for this defense. They have already whittled down a big time back from their opposition, and we'll see how long it will take for Dom to actually get on back. So we'll take a little break right here, right now. Let's see when Dom is coming, and we'll be back as soon as the game starts yet again. Okay guys, seems like Dom is back and ready to go, so we are going to be getting into the action in just a bit. Unfortunately for Dom, gonna be losing that ult charge, but it didn't really matter as he did swap on over from another pick early on as well. Anyway, now we're getting into this one with Olivier keeping the grenades going as much as possible. Still though, Twitch Prime on that hog, pushing forward, trying to get out in front, Go With The Flow right now with the fire strike onto the dumpster. Okay, but for the blue hand side, they're just dumpstering their opponents. Still a big advantage in terms of ults. Now what can the red team do? They have to go for a dry push, at least bait out 1-2 ultimates tops to try and even things out. They are looking for a pick up onto Aki, and they get it! They get the kill onto Aki. Sound barrier is forced out. Gravity Surge is there as well. Tactic Advisor. Now Wolfgang gonna decide to play the App Matrix from the side, but he doesn't really have the best side plans to deal with, to work with. And the red hand side has to back on out yet again. Anyway, Salt Rex ready with that Deadeye. The Batiste backing on out. The Rusky Blades just gonna fall on over. And with only the Mercy rather going for that chain healing into that Valkyrie plane into the next one, it's still gonna be a little bit of a struggle here for the red hand side to make things work. Anyway, Oily Beer still in his elements, having the best time of his life to go for a shot after shot. The big shadow there from Flo! It's gonna get 3, gets the pin on and over to Yusu as well. And Aki does go down. Where did the Reinhardt go? Went on the inside, got nothing whatsoever. Saltarex right now, Deadeye gonna get the lock on out to JD. And we get another pause. What is going on here? It seems like just internet issues abound are the real issue here. But where did the tank line go? That's the real question for the red hand side. What's going on? What happened there? Because that was a big shot there from Aki. So anyway guys, as we wait on yet again, has 1-2 ultimates used here. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so the server closed due to an unexpected error. Interesting. There you go, guys. There you go.
Welcome
But
to
since it's a
Hollywood.
pause, it's gonna try to fix it things, and there you go. What is going on? What is going on? Solo, it was just the Junkrat show. Like so far, past two games, the Junkrat show has been the the DPS department's thing. On the flip side, the tank line shenanigans. You know, the tank line is the matchup that you really want to watch. You want to see what kind of mind games the two are trying to do. Anyway, it is what it is. Technical issues do happen. And still, watch over PHS. If you do want to hop on and try to join, then feel free to do so. Interesting error, unexpected error. The last time that happened was the LAN actually. It happened, but then we were able to just wait it out, and it came back for some reason. It came back into the same instance. So unfortunately, it seems like it didn't happen here and now. Dude, Overwatch, small indie company, by the way. So we'll be fixing up these tech issues, and we'll see you guys in just a bit. When you do have more or less these open tryouts, you're not really sure who has the proper conditions to go on, and hopefully everyone has ironed out the kicks for our next map, and we'll see if we're gonna go for the restart here on Hollywood or not. Okay, guys, so we do get a restart. Pretty simple. It bugged out in a way we didn't expect,
Welcome
and
to
there you
Hollywood.
go. Don't worry, we had the issues before. That's what it is. It is what it is. So let's get back into this one. Erase all the memories of the previous one, as we are gonna get back into Hollywood. Map number 2. Let's get it on. Let's get it done. Newborns blue on blue hand side. Here in the red, Newborns red. Same teams though, Noah, Aki, Oily, Max, JD, and Deadpool's on the blue hand side. Here for the red, we got Flo, Twitch Prime, Dumbledore, Salt, RX, Rusky, as well as Wolfgang. Again, same comments from before. We'll see what's we're gonna be. I feel like we're gonna get something completely new from both sides. Besides, of course, the Junkrat and the Baptiste on their respective players. It seems like it really is. Comfort pick is the way to go. But I'm very interested to see like maybe a Bastion here from that defense to try and seal the deal already early, or even go for that attack Bastion. Look, you're gonna have that Baptiste player. Why not just go all in? Go for the Bastion itself. Make the strategy work. It can work on offense, it can work on defense if you are, if you are able to coordinate well enough with your team. Anyway though, Oily Beer on this Junkrat. We got Max playing that Soldier Civics yet again. Lucia Moira here between JD as well as Deadpulse. So we'll see what's gonna be, what we're gonna be showing on up with this one. Still though, the Lucia gonna be chilling by the truck. You want to be going for a surf, you want to go for a trip, and just sit down up on top of that car and hopefully not get flung when it decides to move. Anyway, let's get into this one. Dumbledore on the Widowmaker, and this is what we want to see. It's time to whip out the insta-kill, a sniper or two. Going to be anyhow effective. Snipe after snipe. Oh, Oil Beer wasn't paying attention, almost gets headshotted, but Dom unable to actually get the critical hit on the immobile target. Anyway, Olivier deciding to make it rain some grenades from the side. Here we go though with Rusty Blades going over to the opposite end. Wolfgang keeping the heals ongoing. Twitch Prime flung into the air. And overall the blue hand side holding the corner strong. This is a good choke here for Noah and Aki. Anyway, Dumbledore coming a little too close in terms of sidelines, going to be backing out to the hotel. And the problem here with the Widowmaker right now, if they're unable to actually push on forward, the sidelines aren't really going to be best. Dom has to look for opportunities to punish people coming from up on top, or at least get someone not in the barrier's ranges. Anyway, Dom still keeping on with the shot. Saltarex gonna go for the Hanzo and double sniper. Oh, the headshot there onto Max. Gonna get that takedown. Finally, the Widowmaker getting critical hit. That's a big pick off here for the red hand side. Still though, go with the flow being bounced around. He's just going with the flow that Oil Beer is setting. Shadow though completely blocked. And even for the red hand side, they're trying to go for this push. Now there we go with the I-Field and the Amp Matrix. Interesting that Wolfgang decides to go for both. Shadow now from Aki, gonna put the tree to the floor. No Risu trying to clean things up. And Oily Beer not deciding to go for the Riptide there and then. It seems like without the Reinhardt, the damage department wasn't there. But Oily Beer gonna decide, okay, Riptide from the back. We'll take care of Dumbledore along the way. And go with the flow, just steps onto the trap. Come on, man. Come on. Pretty telegraphed there. Wolfgang instead, though, gonna get that shot. It seems like the Baptiste is able to get a little more damage nowadays. I feel though set early yet again, no one needing it, and the gadget gonna go on down. Deadpulse Coalescence is available. Biotic are gonna be tossed around. Go with the flow with the fire strike there, and then in the red hand side, winning out in terms of that spawn advantage. They're able to get closer and closer to the points, winning out in 1v1 trades. JD though popping that sand barrier. And now what are you even able to catch out Saltarex? He has 100 energy to his name. One right click can clean up Dumbledore. Doesn't go for it though. Garrett the Surge available as well. And the I-Field set by Wolfgang already. Still though, the red hand side trying to cut the corner. JD now getting hammered away. Here we go with Oily Beer again on that high ground. Cleans up Wolfgang. Saltarex now swapping over the Reaper. Here we go with the Shadow. Gets blocked this time by the bubble. So that's the second one from Flo that gets absolutely nothing. You would expect a tidal wave of force here from the red hand side. But it seems like there's just a puddle splashing on. Like a child trying to get someone wet. Anyway, Dumbledore right now, another snipe this time, finally getting Oily Beer, the biggest threat to their existence. 2 frags on the board, and this is what we want to see. Be able to get some viable picks right here, right now, with that hit scan. Amp Matrix set on up as well. Here we go with JD coming close to that limousine, will be protected by the VIP on the inside. Anyway, Aki though, still coming on back. Max ready with that tactical visor coming from the opposite end. Aki now brawling against Go with the flow. This time the hammer toils in favor of the red hand side as the first take tings here for the red team. 1 minute in, should be able to get this capture. Anyway, Aki now swapping over to that Winston. Max gonna go for that Soldier 76 Deadpulse, ready with that Coalescence. On the flip side though, Gravity Surge is available here for Twitch Prime. They might be able to go for a combo or two with a good Death Blossom. Now Twitch Prime just has to be a little more patient in terms of pressing that Q. He doesn't have any ultimates, he doesn't have any energy rather with that Zarya in the first place. Still though, JD now going for the poop, and when you just run out in the open like that as Ilios, expect your head to be popped by a sniper or two. Now Oily Beer, Concussive Mind Sauce, Dumbledore on the inside, not where you want to be against the Junkrats, and you have to know that corridors are really much the domain. He's lurking, watching, waiting, every step you take, but here we go with the Death Blossom from Saltarex, trying to get rid of that Zarya, rip that from above. Oily Beer gonna get one, and Saltarex unable to maximize his value with the ultimate. It really seems like the blue hand side is just able to outdamage their opposition with that Junkrat getting pick after pick with spam as well as a good Reptile or two. Captain Surge as well as Tactical Visor tossed, and you can see in these kinds of setups, especially in tryouts, especially in players who haven't been able to really play with each other too much, that they're trying to make these hero plays looking to impress, but they're falling flat instead. Now guys, you don't want to make the hero plays when you are losing. You want to do it at least when you're winning, when you have the advantage at the starts, so you can play a little more risky in the first place. It also allows you to use less ultimates, as there you go with the Shatter there from Go With The Flow, in order to use using the Gravitational Surge instead though to stop the assault, but they have lost their Lucio. It means that there's no tempo whatsoever. The red hand side now pushing forward, finally gonna be able to penetrate into Westworld. Anyway, Aki now gonna get sniped, and here we go on the opposite. Zarya versus Zarya between Twitch Prime and Nowhere Yusu. Still though, interesting enough, it's Max trying to go for the supports. Great form to get on the way. Insta reload not gonna be off. Wolfgang gonna get that takedown there and then. On the flip side though, back to the objective. Go with the flow, pushing that payload. Oily Beer gonna be there as well, trying to contest. Onto the high ground he goes. Dumbledore isn't able to get that frag. Bubble Shield is there instead. And here we go with a leap on it for Baki, tasing down the Widowmaker, forcing the wall hack to go back down. Side, remember, does go down when the Widowmaker goes down. Here we go though with the Death Blossom after the raid form, and Saltarex playing the meta until it can be better. Saltarex now 2 frags on the board alongside Twitch Prime, and the red hand side just brawling on that payload. JD finally with the sound barrier. He's been picked off not once but twice at the start of the fight, getting staggered, but it's enough for Nowhere Use to get that takedown there and then. Aki still starting to stay alive, not gonna be enough. The dumpster protecting the Lucio. Here we go with Oily Beer, and he's 1% away from the Riptide. Will he actually go for it? A hero play perhaps all the way in front, trying to get on the inside. There we go, the Fire Strike. Here we go with the Q though from Go With The Flow. It doesn't get enough value there as the blue hand side, this time with spawn advantage, able to come as one. Oily Beer able to buy time for his team. Anyway, Oily Beer and Deadpulse, 2 ultimates ready to go. Coalescence haven't really been the fastest here for Deadpulse, but he is able to go for this one in a penultimate moment. Saltarex now dropping on down. Unfortunately, doesn't have the Death Blossom. Can't make a play. Raid formed up really early, and this is a very early contest here from the Reaper. Shadow Step all the way in front, doing no damage. Riptide now coming online, takes care of the final field along the way. Wolfgang gonna get shot on down. Twitch Prime desperately going for the touch, and it seems like the red hand side gonna be able only to go for the halfway mark. Coalesces to go for that hill. Gravitational Surge completely with no reason. Very ambitious to try and go for that Pharah, but it's still not going to be enough for the red team to do anything. The reset doesn't amount to much. It seems like this was going to be the foregone conclusion either way.
0 to 1.
So now swap things over. The blue hand side on the attack. Let's get back into this one. Whew, Hollywood though. A while ago, before the resets, this was a good defense here from blue hand side. Funnel gameplay was abound, but the red hand side able to get picks instead, able to take control all the way into the more central area of the map. Still though, there were antics all the way on the right hand side, fights even as the payload was here already. And in that situation, the defense needs to cascade a little better. They need to form as one. They do want to go for fights like that because they're the ones who's gonna suffer. In the meantime, Spawn advantage, again, is a very vital aspect, especially in lower tiers, since the TTK is a lot lower than you would expect. Then it usually means that the team who is closer to spawn has the advantage in these matchups, because most of the time it's 1-for-1 trades, it's fights that do go for the long haul as the sustain is better or the shots don't connect. So in this instance, on the first point, the blue hand side having that advantage, but as soon as they got closer and closer, the end of that second point, it just meant that the red team was able to come a little earlier. Oh, but such that the colors flips. The red side had the advantage on the first point, blue side had the advantage on that second point by the tail end. Anyway, on to the MVP for so far of Olivier. Onto this Junkrat. Max gonna go for that Reaper yet again. And we are gonna go for a brawl composition here between JD and Deadpulse playing that Lucia Moira. Aki and Ryusu. Ryan Zarya is there, and then, interesting enough, is double shield. And Saltarex finally playing the Bastion. I love to see this here from the red hand side. Olivier will get taken down. And that is... Okay, now I need to think about that real quick. The Junkrat trying to play Suicide Bomber literally jumps into the Bastion to try and kill him as soon as he dies. Okay, that's something new. That is something completely new to me. But anyway, the red hand side playing a really good defense right now. They know the map is efficient to play that Bastion here on this high ground. Dumbledore playing the Mei, and Rusty Blade decided to play the Mercy instead of the Ana. Usually you want to have that Ana here. Nana Boost is going to be very, very effective to keep the Bastion alive in many instances. But sure, you get that extra resurrection. Well, Wolfgang, a very early eye field, not on the Salt Rex. You want to be able to go for the eye field where the Bastion is, not for yourself. And this is going to be a big punish here from Max as well as Aki. Still though, tank mode Salt going to get to make that 3. The tank is just running people over. Remember guys, the cavalry is here. And speaking of the cavalry, Olivier now going out in front. Dumbledore though trying to go for the freeze, needs to get the left click strong in order to use you onto the wrecking ball this time. Gets the ball to turn into a popsicle instead, but Olivier gonna drop on down. Anyway, with the Baptiste here of Volcan ready with the Ipe Matrix, looks to get in position alongside Salt RX, but the red hand side has to stall for a lot more time to get that Bastion in position. Again, I feel very, very important for the Bastion, not for anyone else. He is the crux of this defense. Still though, Double O right now, we're gonna have that Blizzard ready to go. Very efficient right now into security room. Olivier up on top, trying to get in behind. And he's looking to go for the Riptire from the side. Wolfgang though, ready still with his gadgets. And remember, when you play that Riptire, you need to be able to get rid of that eye field before any damage does come. There you go, Eyefield gonna get rid of Rusky Blade. He was behind that one, so that means Eyefield took the damage earlier compared to that Mercy. Still though, Coalescence now from Deadpulse, gonna be able to get to Twitch Rhyme in a bad spot, and the blue hand side with the initiation of that Riptire, taking care of that Mercy. It's just not gonna be enough damage there, and then Salt Rex coming from spawn. The Bastion still here for Team Red, but they will have to back on out, look to regroup, reset to another spot. Now there is no Mei on the blue hand side, so they can't take that high ground or play by the Hey. Wolfgang decides, okay, I want to run into the points and just die. Okay, cool. Anyway though, Twitch Prime right here right now. Okay, still playing that Sigma. Supercharger is there. Salt RX playing a little forward. Usually you want to be behind the haystack, behind the Bastion right now, but I guess this works for the time being. And over Issa though, looking for a hook, trying to go for a fish or two. It seems like it's not going to be a bite anytime soon. Dumbledore now onto the Widowmaker instead. I like the swap here from Dom. The second point has a lot of opportunities, a lot of avenues for the Widow to actually dominate. And with only one shield on the blue hand side, it's easy to get pick after pick after pick. Anyway, Shatter is available. JD gonna have that sound barrier ready to go as well. Mercy Baptiste ready with those ultimates as well. It's gonna be all about trying to play as defensive as possible. Anyway though, Valkyrie ready to go here for the red hand side. And over Yisu going for the top up there. And then JD now with the sound barrier. And here we go with the charge, but this time the eye field. Oh, there's no eye field. It'll be an easy takedown there. And then Death Blossom though, finally the eye field in a good time. Still Salt RX will fall. Going for the resurrection though. Coalescence here from Deadpulse, trying to get more damage done. The Valkyrie though should be able to mitigate with that self-heal, with all that damage. Olivier into the air. And apparently the blue hand side still in this fight. Matrix from Wolfgang takes care of it over Yusu. Here we go with Aki charging on that. Good halt there from Go With The Flow, stopping the pin from happening at any point in time. Shatter though, oh the boop! That was a little bit of a boop action there from the blue hand side. And Olivier will get the quad kill! That is enough for the Junkrats to just seal the deal there. Time equals bots and kills equals secured. There we go with the boot, but look at go with the flow. He unfortunately does get booped by the Lucio into that stun, and no one can deal with the Riptire coming from above. It drops down from the heavens, and it seems like Oily Beer has been saving grace here for the blue hand side. So though, here we go with the Brawl Dumbledore on that high ground. One last contest for this defense. Now we do have a fire here for Saltarex. Might be a C9. Oh, Wolfgang gonna step on it just in time. Still though, shots keep on coming. The Junkrat is now down for the count, but everyone else on the defense is dead. Dumbledore too late to step. And yes, the blue hand side taking the win yet again. 2-1, same score from Oasis. But this time it really just goes to show the scrappiness here from both sides. Saltarex playing that tank mode to a good degree as he goes for those swaps, goes for the shots. Look at that, just turning the Moira as well as the Lucio inside out. The charger from Aki not gonna be enough, but still a big play from Oily Beer as well. As soon as everyone is able to come online, the red hand side should have been able to take that one, but you know, it is what it is. TTK again, a big deal to work with. Anyway guys, so the blue hand side taking the win there. We are going to be moving on over to Temple of Anubis next, I believe. So we'll be we'll be trying to figure out what the plan is as we are waiting on for confirmation from the admins. Again, it's a 3-set map for the players, so that means we're going to be doing 6 maps today within the next 2 hours. We did start late and we had a few tech issues, so we're going to be going a little overboard on that 8 o'clock time slot. Anyway guys, we'll take a little break and we'll be back as soon as game number 3 is underway. Okay, guys,
Now entering
welcome
the
back, and we are gonna get into game number 3. So this time gonna be Temple of Anubis. We have again been able to change things up and change the people into our game. So let's get down into this one, as we are ready to go for our matchup. So here for the blue hand side, we do have Inoa Flow, Oily Beer, Sparketic, JD, as well as a nameless of new people hopping on into this one. In the meantime, for the red hand side, it's gonna be Aki, Twitch Prime, Donut, Soltarex, Caveats, as well as Zavid. We'll see how this one's gonna go, as everyone waiting on to go for that load. And yes, here we go. So Temple of Anubis. What can I say about this map? This first part, the funnel is the most important. You need to figure out how you actually wanna penetrate the defense, especially if they are gonna be into that central area. Now you can go left or right, good transitions to move to the points, or if you're playing that dive, you just run straight to the objective itself if you're not gonna decide to go for that fight. Now again, Widowmaker strategies involved that you rotate alongside sightlines, allow your Widowmaker or your Ashe to actually be able to get shot after shot, force your opposition to fight front, to fight where your sniper can help you out. It seems like it's not the case here for the blue hand side. Again, they will have Oily Bear on that Junkrat, and Sparketic gonna be on that McCree instead. So it's gonna be a 5-6 scenario, that kind of thing. They'll be looking to play the main, keep the grenades going. And honestly, if in this day and age, Junkrat still is popular on Temple of Anubis for more casual play. Anyway though, on the flip side, we are gonna have Donuts and Saltarex. Finally, we're seeing a Doomfist into this game. We'll see if we can actually dominate more or less, as Oily Beer waiting on setting the trap already. Whoever steps there first will get pretty much blown to bits. With the Gusset Mine up on top, the bear trap down below, and that's gonna be complete carnage on the inside. And Oily Beer even emoting. He's trying to go for that third person perspective, looking to see. This is the angle he's looking for right now. When anyone actually touches, Saltarex does spot this though. And the problem with playing Junkrat only is now it seems like the red hand side is just anticipating all these kind of antics. Anyway, no Ryusu going for the shots there, and then Sparketic gonna get that safe down though. Good first pick off for the McCree. Donuts though, unable to really hit anyone in the combo, gonna get smashed by the rock instead. The Doomfist now trying to back on out, gets the med back, but is unable to really get any value with any of his abilities. Now, if you're on that Doomfist and you use all 3 abilities to get your movement going, it means you're not gonna have any kind of potency for the next 5 to 6 seconds. Donuts though, trying to bait out Oily Beer. One big punch will shut down the Junkrat, but oh, he's too afraid! You can't be afraid of the Junkrat like that, or he will punish you. Just get that one punch and you are good to go. Saitama would be proud if you just went for the aggression. Anyway, Twitch Prime right now, getting hampered though. Here we go with a deflect there from Saltarex. Nameless, just sucking the Genji dry. Here we go again then with Twitch Prime, going for the Saze. At the right hand side, looking to back on out, but again, Oily Beer punishing any kind of retreat. Anyway though, another Yusu with that pick off, Supercharger is available. Here we go, them going to that high ground yet again. Go with Flow on the flip side. Been able to toss those Hyper Sears. A leap on in from Twitch Prime. There we go with the Fire Strike as well. Still, the Bubble Shield now a lot more tanky. Will allow the transition. Now, interesting double barrier setup here from Aki and Twitch Prime. They're not gonna go for the standard Orisa Sigma. They're gonna go for the old school Ryan Winston instead. And there you go. That's why it doesn't work. Twitch Prime immediately eating that rock. The stun is so strong there from Go with the Flow. On the flip side right now, Oily Beer, 8 HP. Saltarex trying to go for that takedown. We'll be able to get that. Onto the high ground he does go, but Coalescence into the sand barrier here. Both sides popping an ultimate each, but Zavid forcing out the sand barrier to the beam, so that's gonna be a good one here for the offense so far. Nameless though, with a later Coalescence, just with a burn Aki along the way. Caveat still flying along. Saltarex right now ready with that Dragon Blade, but it seems like he's so hesitant to actually pop it. He got the kill on the Junkrat already. The sound barrier already came out, and this is the time for the red hand side to actually make a play or two with an ultimate. Donuts though, with 2 kills. Oily Beer right now, Riptide from above, and everyone again clustered to get taken down by Oily Beer. Just way too easy there for Oily Beer, as everyone is just falling for it. No one dealing with the Junkrat. Shatter though does come. Aki gets one, make that 2. It seems like the ground quakes when the Reinhardt stomps, but seems like Go with the Flow even better at shattering Earths with the rock out in front. So another bailout play there from Mr. Olivier. Donuts though finally getting momentum, does get 2 kills. And Saltarex might just be kicking himself for not using that Dragon Blade anytime in that fight to seal the deal. It was the perfect opportunity to get the blade as soon as Olivier died. Sparketic though, gonna be backing on that, has the Deadeye. Donuts now pushing forward, gets that first pick, gets the punch into the meteor like we go. It seems like this Doomfist is trying to go ham. So far so good, doesn't get the punch though. Saltarex now finally with the blade will get trapped, and Olivier going for the shots as much as possible. Concussive Mind now coming online, and Zavid gonna get the suck instead. The Biotic Grass enough to lock on the red hand side with a little bit of that momentum from both the Doomfist and the Genji. Finally able to get that push that they needed.
Objective A captured. New defense point.
So now we move on to the second part. 3 minutes on the clock. A decent time back here for Newborn's Red, but still that was a big drain there from the blue hand side. Riptire almost available yet again here for Olivier. Onto the high ground he goes. He's looking for a little bit of that Overwatch action, trying to see where it was coming. Oh, Donuts gets flung into that steel trap, and I would be even impressed with the combo play that Junkrat is doing right now. Now here we go with the Riptire. This one way too close. Okay, okay, it worked. Now again, Riptire that close should not work, but it would work. There you go, 4 kills. That's it. That's the show. We get a reset yet again. More importantly, honestly, the combo into the steel trap is very impressive. Use of the concussive mind from Olivier. He baits out Donuts to use an ability and flings him into the steel trap using the mind toss. That's an easy shutdown there, and then the Doomfist cannot do anything in that scenario. But anyway, here we go again with another fight. Aki gonna have that shatter available. Caveat in the meantime, popping that Valkyrie. JD though gonna get stunned, and this has to be the Lucian focus fire. There you go. Saltarex gonna get the assassination instead. Dragon Blade is available. He wants to go for a cut. Might be looking to unsheath that sword. No, again, this is another instance where Saltarex is doubting himself. The blade is the perfect way to transition after those first kills. Donuts though just bailing his team out with the meteor strike to try and go for the aggression. Sparketic though gonna get a pick off Saltarex now with a very late Dragon Blade. The Deadeye was being channeled. The Sound Barrier came online, and this time the Genji cannot get any value whatsoever. Another failed push here for the offense, and they just have to be more decisive. They just have to decide, okay, we get the pick, and now it's time to secure the win. On 2 CP, it's most important to get these chain kills as quick as possible, because spawn advantage, especially on the second point, so huge for the defending side. Anyway, in order to use it right now, Supercharger is ready to go. In the meantime, Caveats and Zavid swapping in the support line. Gonna be the Zen and the Moira Saltarex onto the Pharah instead. Supercharger though, available here for in order to use Olivier. Coming online with a Riptire yet again. And I believe he's one of the quickest to get an ultimate in this scenario. Now he sees the Pharah though, Saltarex already taking damage there, and then has to back on that. Looking for a top for 2. Riptire still available for Oily. Gonna be jumping around, looking to get in position. Onto the high ground he goes. Zavid now coming back, and here we go with another Riptire from Olivier. This time takes care of 2. Surprise, surprise. No one able to turn around. And with the composition on the offense, they're unable to really punish that one. So the brawl onto the point, Aki gonna get 2. Yeah, it's just a basic trade that leads to the defense getting stagger after stagger. By this point in time, the right hand side has to decide the reset already. Saltarex lingering this too long is just a terrible decision all around. Now 15 seconds left. The Pharah will not be able to make it into this last fight. Who will be on touch duty? It seems like Donuts is the way to go. The Doomfist looking to transition. One big punch. Does he know the combo? Can he actually make it out to the other side? Now we're looking to get in position. Size 6 down to get the touch. Not going for the punch instead, but as overtime not ticking away. Supercharger available here from Minoru who pops it. Everyone getting whittled down left, right, and center. Speaking of the center, all the corpses littering the central pathway. And the blue hand side right now just shielding away from the late Pharah. Round 1 ends with a 1-point score here for the offense. Will we get the same result here on Temple of Anubis? Will 2-1 again be the score in this tryout set?
Initiating match.
Anyway guys, now we move into the offense here for the blue hand side. Already expecting the Junkrat to just keep the spam going to get a few kills into the funnel. Now, what will be the basic transition here? They're gonna go for the Junkrat spam to the center, as the red hand side should be up on top of that. But if at any point in time the red team decides to push all the way into those corridors, into those caverns, well, Olivier will be there waiting, lurking, looking to punish. This time though, Sparketic onto that junk, and we are gonna get the aggressive dive variant here from the blue hand side. I like this here on top of Anubis. You get that Wrecking Ball to either go for the boop or go for the pile driver to control the fight onto the center. Go with the flow, can leap at any point in time as well. Sparketic on that Genji can dash to left, right, and move to go in for the kill as soon as the reset happens. Yushimura as well is the way you want to go. You can play the Ana at the same time if you know the nade spots or can actually get some value with the shots. On the flip side though, the red hand side decided to play Zarya Sigma. Now with this composition, it does entail that they do want to go for a ground-based brawl, which might get punished easily by Olivier. Donuts still sticking on that Doomfist. This time Saltarex onto the Reaper instead. Lucio Moira also here for the red hand side. So both sides playing the meta in terms of the support line. Good to see a little bit of some more comfortable action as, oh my god, Zavid just gets blown up by the spam along the way. Anyway, here we go with the shots. In order to use to and go to flow with a leap on in yet again. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far. Pile driver coming online. Akina putting up that shield. And Donuts backing on out yet again. Olivier though cleaning up Aki. Here we go in Noryusu, quite low already. Donuts though also in a little bit of a bad spot. Looking for a puncher. Dude, there you go with Nameless! Getting blown up, the Moira. Come on guys, when you are crossing the street, first look left, then look right, and go for the cross. Then look left, and just gets punished by the punch there. Red hand side though, finally getting a good defense. Very impressive here from Saltarex and Donuts. Saltarex ready with the Death Blossom as well. So anyway, DB waiting on for Saltarex. In the meantime, we have the Twitch Prime as well as Aki on that Zarya Sigma. Zavid right now is being bounced around. Go to flow in Noryusu trying to go for a leap or two as well. That Blossom though does come online. Sparketic will get taken down. 2 frags on the board here for the Reaper, and he wants to go for the point itself. Great form now on the inside, executing Olivier on the spot. Finally, it seems like the hit has gone, and everyone is sobering up against that Junkrat. Anyway, ooh, go with the flow. Come on, go, stay away from that. Stop chatting, keep moving. You want to be always on your toes, or the Reaper is there to go for that punish. Anyway, no reason right now. Mines are available. 4 ultimates ready to go here for the blue hand side. Pile driver transition. We're gonna go for the mines as well, but no one home to actually get those hits. Aki though going onto the side. Donuts with that first frag onto Olivier already. Double coalescence though in sync here from both sides. Twin beams crossing, and Ryusu just smashing on Twitch Prime. Maybe it's time to move on over to another streaming platform. Still though, Donuts going on down below. Here we go with the Death Blossoms from Saltarex as well. Wants to go for Nameless. Gonna get that save down. Go with the flow. This time not popping the Prime Rage. Good decision there. Wisely noticing that the fight isn't gonna be won anytime soon. And now the blue team is running out of time. They do see a swap though. Go with the flow onto that Reinhardt instead. And over Yusu. Moving over to that Zarya. This is going to be more of the brawl out in front. But will the Doomfist be able to get more value? That's the real question. Anyway, Riptar still coming. Saltarex getting hit by one grenade by his foot. On the flip side, Flo now finally able to penetrate out in front. Grabbing the surge though from Twitch Prime, pretty huge! Into the transition from Donuts, grab into the Flux, but Olivier again with the Riptire to remember, takes care of the Sigma as well as the Mercy. The fight isn't over yet because Saltarex and Donuts have been dominating the fight so far. Now the Doomfist all alone, 1 versus the world. Go with the Flo deciding it's time for the pin, and it's time to duel on the inside. He's the winner with a chicken dinner and blows up Caveats for good measure. So a solid transition there from the blue hand side into that Ryan Zarya. It seems like they were more comfortable to run it in the first place compared to the dive. Now in lower ranks, dive isn't the best way to go. Like you'd think, okay, Overwatch League does it, or this is a map to run dive. But it requires a bigger level of dedication as well as communication to make it work. And you can see the desync there from both the Wrecking Ball and the Winston just wasn't really working out for both sides. Anyway, Onto the catacombs we go with the flow and over Yusu. Decided to lead the charge onto the left-hand side. Now moving to the point immediately, and Donuts gets a punch onto Oily Beer. Good defense so far. Gets that initial pick. Coalescence is there. Shattered right now from Go with the flow. Putting 3 to the floor, and that is a pin onto Zavid. Go with the flow now. Double kill on the board. Caveat gonna be the target. Sound Barrier there from JD. The blue hand side just looking to win this fight already. Sound Barrier though unnecessary. Oh, there you go. First stick taken. C9 by the tail, and the blue hand side get the clean sweep. It's a 2-1 to take the win. Same score for all 3 maps, and the set goes to Team Blue. End of the game, going to Oil Beer, presses that Q, lets it rip, and down everyone goes. Good shot there from the blue hand side. Very dominant second fight as well on that second point. It was just time to go. It was just time to win. And they even celebrated with the sound barrier, to say the least. So that's one set down, and thus that we are going to be moving over to set number 2, which is Ilios, King's Row, as well as Volskaya Industries. Who knows which players are going to be still sticking on? Who knows which players are going to be trying to showcase? But it's been a great time so far here in the Newborns Tryouts. Again though, quick disclaimer is I am only giving my own feedback for my purposes, that kind of thing, spectator purposes. It is still up to the admins of the Newborn and WatchOver PH squad to figure out who's gonna be in what roster. At the same time, again, this is not my thing. I'm just streaming this for the community so you guys can check it out. Don't forget, we do have our standard delay, as it is still a tryouts, and people should be as professional as possible and not, not really go for that comp sat, not watch the stream at any point in time. Anyway guys, that's been a fun one. We'll be right back as soon as everything is fixed up for set number 2, if it still happens, and we'll see what's gonna be flying into the next one.
Now arriving at Ilios.
Okay guys, screw that, no breaks, let's go! Map number 4. We are gonna get into Ilios right here, right now. So this is the second set, so we're going back to 1 out of 3. The blue hand side though has been just winning, that kind of thing. But I believe this is now the transition into the Plat Diamond range, if I am not mistaken. So again, the map pool gonna be Ilios, gonna be King's Row, as well as Volskaya. We'll see. It's still gonna be the Junkrat show, or what else it's gonna be. So welcome back guys to set number 2. Game number 1, Aki Twitch Prime, Oily Beer, Sparketic Caveats, and Nameless on the blue hand side. Now it's in order you should go with the flow. Donuts, Jeps, Anubis Rats, and Zavid on the red. So we start things off on well. So well. It's time to see this big hole gets some value. Now we know the Junkrat can go for a little bit of that concussive mine action to actually knock people back. At the same time, the Risa, the Sigma, those kind of heroes, the Roadhog, gonna be anyhow effective in knocking people down. It will be funny to see a Reinhardt actually charge someone into the hole, but it seems like we are having a little bit of the second issues. We're trying to sort those out real quick on that Discord channel. Anyway, Aki Twitch Prime gonna be on a tank line comparing and facing off against Inora Yusu, as well as Go with the Flow. On the flip side, it's gonna be Oil Beer and Sparketic against Donuts and Jeps, and then it's Rats versus Zavid on Rat and Zavid rather versus Caveats and Nameless on that support line. So right now the admins are trying to ferry people into the right voice channels. They are required to use the Discord and show on up so they can record comms or check out how everything is flying. It's very important to make sure that there are no smurfs right now. No one just trying to troll. No one just trying to meme on people. because they're really looking to build these sort of academy teams to help out a new generation of potential professional play. And you guys, as we transition back in, we get started. 30 seconds left before the gates do open, and we are gonna get the Orisa Hog on both sides. Now hooks gonna be very important here and now between our heroes. In the meantime, Oilebeer and Sparketic on to that Junkrat Genji. On the flip side, it's Donut still sticking on with the Doomfist, and Jeff's playing a Soldier 76 of all things.
5, 4, 3.
On the flip side, on the defensive end, it's Lucio Moira here for the blue versus Ana Moira for Rat and Zavid. Now, playing the Ana and the Moira means you are playing the slower composition that is more about sustain rather than making plays. It makes sense here as well, since you want to be sticking on to one side only, going for a hook or two, then the Ana Moira is not the worst pick. Still though, the blue hand side can decide to just go for the bomb rush, as Donuts does get that first frag on the Nameless. Aki though, going fishing, gets rid of go with the flow, gets rid of that one counterpart that can actually do the same thing, but Donuts now with a double kill along the way. Interesting enough, Twitch Prime turning around to try and get rid of the Doomfist. It's not gonna happen. The Orisa needs to be in that front line. Aki though, almost tripping on over. Didn't fall down. Good on him. And over Yusu on the left hand side, working together with Rats. And Diana moving behind that shield to get in position yet again. Still though, Donuts now ringing in and getting pick after pick. This is a little bit of, it seems like Donuts was looking for a little bit of that warm up a while ago on Anubis. This time he's just showing up here on Ilios, dominating the fight, getting these kills along the way. 4 kills already for the Doomfist in the last 2 fights, as here we go with the Reptile available for Oilebeer. He's able to charge things up quickly against the Roadhog, using the hefty frame as a body to just blow up along the way. Still though, Oilebeer right now is running around trying to find the angle to actually go for that Reptar from behind. Zavid doesn't pop the fade in time, but still the bait sesh there from Go With The Flow. The Take a Breather keeping him alive with that damage reduction. So for now, after what, 3 games, it seems like Oilebeer has finally been figured out. Or maybe a little bit of the different skill rating here with the Platinum Diamond, a lot harder to make this Junkrat pick work. And look at the 6 HP here for Oily. He's trying to get on the way. Jeps right now picking off Sparketic instead. Nano Boost now tossed onto Donuts. He's going for a pick off or 2. Meteor Strike is here as well. And this is what the Doomfist can do. This is why this hero is meta. Looking for the punch of the caveat. This time avoided by the Moira. That extra movement speed there with the Coalescence, keeping her alive. But a big struggle here for the blue hand side to make it to the other end. Junkrat, not the best pick here on, well, in terms of raw damage. The only thing he can really do is the concussive mine to shoot them into that hole. Jeps though, in a really bad spot, overextending, will get punished accordingly. Go with the flow, as well as in over to Yusu, but here we go with the side flank, courtesy of the Roadhog player. Anyway, Oilebeer finally blowing one up. That's gonna be the Hog getting taken down there, and then Zavid though fading over to the other side, and Oilebeer gonna shut down that Coalescence before it even starts. And over to Yusu, happy with the progress, 92% and counting. Beautiful sleep dart there from Rats. Gonna shut down the Junkrat before any more explosives fly. Anyway, red hand side, unrelentless. Jeps going for that sacrifice. So Sparketic, they didn't have the deflect in time, went with the strike instead. Not gonna keep him alive anytime soon. And over to Yusu though. Supercharger is popped, needs to stay alive against Aki. Fortify, keeping in position. Here we go with the drain as well. And go with the flow, and Donuts getting on the board one more time. The red hand side just completely dominating the fight. Oilebeer, sometimes when you're big fish in a small pond, when you get into the lake, when you get into the ocean, you're just gonna get drowned. And Donuts right now just ringing circles around the Junkrat. Have we finally seen the matchup for Oilebeer?
0-1.
So quick little FYI guys, the first 3 maps, I believe had a mixture of people from bronze to gold, alongside a few plats and diamonds, as well as the slot wasn't filled up completely. This time it's more on that higher elo, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be able to get confirmation on that from our crew, but still. Here on the Lighthouse this time, we are going to see Aki swap on over to that Diva, Twitch Prime on that Sigma. Interesting composition. You don't really see this too often, because it's 2 off-tanks trying to work together with no real synergy. So instead, it might be a matter of comfort. DM flicks for Aki will be able to get some good shutdowns, but against the Doomfist right here, right now, you can just punch through DM, you can punch onto that hull, and get pick after pick after pick. Twitch Prime needs to be big with the accretion hits. Anyway, onto the outside, stays the red hand side, the blue team already moving on the inside immediately. Oily Beer though, finally getting his momentum back, takes care of Jeps, but Donuts gets a quick little punish in this same vein. Looking for another punch, oh, gonna get trapped this time, Karmic Retribution there, and the Doomfist not paying attention, and no Ryusu doesn't have the barrier as well, too much damage being applied with both the Sigma as well as the Diva. You can't face check those two heroes, go with the flow right now, gonna trip on over as well. The blue hand side, apparently, it does work out in their favor. So again, with the two off-tank action, between the Sigma and the Diva, these are two heroes that can actually pack a punch for the tank department. On the flip side, no Ryusu cannot just jump in the open like that, has to set up the barrier, has to be ready with a Fortify, as the Orisa doesn't have the biggest health pool in terms of that tank line. Anyway, the red hand side now trying to play the long range James with Jep still on that Soldier 76. Donuts though, punishing Oily Beer again. The Junkrat has been looking for flank after flank. It's good to see very proactive play, but when the Doomfist has your number and is a lot quicker than you, you're gonna be in for a bad time to say the least. Now Coalescence here from Caveat, so that's gonna get the uppercut. Jeff's in the meantime Tactical Visor, and he's gonna go for the aimbot along the way. Nameless now, turning around, gonna get that poop. And the Soldier 76 will get dropped into the abyss. Take a break, says the Lucio. But this is still a struggle here for the blue hand side. Good sound barrier there from that Lucio, gonna get hooked this time into the punch, courtesy of Donuts. The real question is, what kind of donut is Donuts? Is he that full kind of filling, or will he be the one in the hole? It seems like though he's just punching hole after hole onto the torso of his opponents instead. Anyway, right here, right now, Nanoboost as well as Coalescence both available here for the red hand side. And then Ryusu has that supercharger as well. Onto the point goes that self-destruct, gets absolutely nothing. Now pay attention to the ripside here from Oily Beer. He's trying to hide, Ugly Rat not paying attention, and here we go with the majestic view with the Vroom Vroom. Oily Beer now, 2 frags on the board, Sparketic coming on back, and the blue hand side does get the flip. In all this chaos, it seems like the red team has been forced off the point. They do still have their 2 DPS, and the Nanoboost here from Rat, allowing Donuts to be the tank that he wanted to be. Quick little flip here for the red team. They are coming on back with both the Soldier, with both the Doomfist, the Ana providing supports, and it's enough damage out of nowhere to surprise any kind of player. Anyway, 31% and counting, and they are looking for the clean 2-0 sweep, and no Ryusu though, ready with that supercharger, and Oily Beer just tossing some grenades along the way. A leap on in though from Aki. Bubble shield already out in front, doesn't really protect anyone, but this will allow Twitch Prime to go for that flux. Does get go with the flow, he is still kept alive, he's hiding on the side. Zavito gonna get tased on down instead, and Jeff's providing fire for support one more time. Needs to get a tracking though onto Caveat, Sparketic the target instead. The Soldier 76 gets the headshot, gets the kill onto the Cowboy, but might not be enough. Caveat with a well-timed Coalescence, but still has to deal with a Tactical Visor. Good stun there, courtesy of the Sigma, but still not enough. And the red hand side at the brink. That was so close. They gave up so much ground, but was able to defend, keeping the Soldier as well as the Doomfist alive for the long haul. Anyway, Sparketic right now and Nameless, 2 ultimates ready to go. The Beats and the Deadeye, 1 for distraction and 1 for the playmaking. Which one will it be? We shall see. They can go for the all-in commits, especially a dive there from Aki. Still though, they need to protect Sparketic if he's gonna make that Deadeye actually matter. So sound barrier early here from Nameless, trying to transition, 92% though, someone has to touch. On to the point goes Aki as well as Switch Fight. Donuts though, gets the punch, and the Deadeye here from the left-hand side. Is this enough? Sightlines? No! Jeps turns around instead and gets that takedown. Rat keeping the heal on going. Here we go with Go with the Flow. Power Driver doesn't get much, but the Wrecking Ball is just such a big force to be reckoned with here on Lighthouse. Boop after boop might be the show, and the red hand side just needs to deal with Caveat left here on the point. She's making a period, she's making a punctuation for herself. Here we go with Nameless, touching one last time. Jep's gonna get that takedown. Oily Beer trying to get to the point, too little too late.
Play of the game.
This play of the game goes over to Donuts and the Doomfist, just impressing into this one. Now the problem with the playstyle there from Oily Beers in that map is he's really using these concussive mines to try and get away from the action. But when you're facing off against a Doomfist, his abilities are a lot quicker than your charges do come online. So it's a really tough matchup to try and get away from the imposing figure. Goes to show why Doomfist is in the meta and why not Junkrats. That's the first one. Going the way of the red hand side, Donuts and Jeps, both heroes, both players actually showing a little bit more of a intellect into the game. Jeps showing up out of nowhere from time to time in these instances where like you wouldn't really expect the soldier to come out of, as well as the Doomfist. The Doomfist, of course, very imposing, able to go in, go out, saving abilities just in case he needs to survive. A rule of thumb in playing the Doomfist is when you use all three of your abilities, it means you have the Meteor Strike for disengage. If not, you better get bailed out by your team. Anyway, now we are gonna get a little bit of a substitution. Akashi in for Oily, as he has had a long time to showcase, a long time to play. Akashi Sparketic on the blue hand side right here, right now, but we are gonna get a few swaps as well and some familiar names. As while that's happening, we'll be right back, guys. Take a little break, take a little bit of a glug of water, and we'll be in to King's Row shortly. Okay guys, welcome back and we are almost ready to go for King's Row. We have a lot of different substitutions to actually swap people in, outs as we are winding down to our last two games. On the blue hand side, we got Ambient, Twitch Prime, Akashi Shiver, Caveat on Moises. On the red hand side, we got Aki, Go with the Flow, Vigilance, Jeps, Ugly Rats, and Dead Pulse. So here we go with Miss Dion, who recently released a new song, Concussion. So Claire, why aren't you playing in the tryouts? Why not?
Don't play except Junkenstein.
You play Junkenstein. What do you like playing in Junkenstein? Torbjorn. Torbjorn is a great hero, guys. Widow. Wow, Widow!
Sila na lang yung masaya laro.
Widow maker player. Yun pala
Also
eh.
si... Don't.
McCree.
Si McCree. It's fun to play, but it's so slow.
Yeah, but so you can see, guys, this is for people who want to get started being competitive, as well as newer people on the block, on the lower SRs, giving their opportunity here on the Newbird Squadron. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get into the antics right here, right now, into map number 2. This time, back into King's Row, El Clasico, like we want to say, back all the way in the Overwatch PH Bugs. This is the #1 map of choice. And for good reason. King's Row, always such a good stomping grounds, always someplace you can be comfortable with. Now, interesting enough here for the blue hand side, Akashi and Shiver both are pretty much Genji mates, to say the least. So who will adjust? That's the real question. Who will play something else? Which one will be showing off their flexibility and their prowess? As Ambi Twitch Prime coming together alongside Kevin Moises as well. And so it's Shiver on the junk. On that Genji. And Akashi on the Doomfist. So guys, if you don't know who Akashi is, don't forget, he is like the most famous player in the Overwatch community, to say the least. Long time and consistent partner of Miss Alodia herself. So Akashi has a lot to show for and a lot to prove to many adoring fans. In the meantime, on the red hand side, we have Aki Go with the flow on that Ryan Zarya. It's Vigilance playing here on the Newborn Tryouts. Now, the interesting thing is Vigilance is on the DPS, trying out his different role. He is more or less on the higher echelons of support play, yes. But sure, let's see what Vigi has and what Vigi can bring on the DPS department instead. Now, Vigilance, of course, does play a mean sniper. It's a little bit of his pocket pick. He plays Mercy Moira, and then he plays Widowmaker, that kind of thing. Jepsto playing that Soldier 76. We have Rats as well as Dead Plus on that Ana Moira. Another slow composition here for the red hand side. Anyway, here we go with the Zarya pushing forward. Ambi gonna get whittled down and taken down. Shiver on the inside. Here we go with the charge and a good initial fight here from the red hand side. Akashi already swapping over to that McCree. It seems like the Doomfist just wasn't gonna work out for him. And this is an easy capture here for the red hand side. Vigi going for that Han, so go with the flow though. Disconnecting, unfortunately. We had a long wait already to get into the second game. And the DC, just doesn't help. Just doesn't help in terms of that patience department. But anyway, it is what it is. We just have to wait on for Float to come on back. But still, a very fast push here from the red hand side. Apparently, it's just a rendering device error. So even though he loses out on the ult charge, at least it's gonna be a quick one here and now. Still Aki on that Reinhardt, 57% on that Shatter, but the Rats is coming very quick with that Ana boost, even quicker than the Moira, which is very impressive to say the least, because the Ana does have only a single target to heal in many instances besides using the Bio Grenade. On the flip side, Shiver is around at 70% on that Dragon Blade, but he looked a little awkward, a little lost, going for that med pack underneath the statue. Everyone else gonna take another fight at least to be in an ultimate territory. So anyway, we are just waiting on Flo is finally back into that game. So if you guys do need a little bit of a refresher on some of the aspects of the stream, don't forget to use the commands listed on the stream title, especially the giveaway and the drops ones. If you do want to join on this Saturday session, then you can join the Discord using the first command. And seems like we are going to be ready to go yet again back into King's Row. Still, the red hand side should be able to get the point freely, and back into the game we go. And a flow now backing can be respawning as the Zarya, 0% though, 0 energy as well. The Zarya is really a painful character to lose out on in terms of resources. Still, Twitch Prime and Ambi gonna decide to try to go for the fight. Nano boost on the right arm, then Aki! It's time for the hammer to toil! And the bell will ring for the red hand side. 5 minutes 30 on the clock. Sleep dart there from Caveat on points, but it's just not gonna be enough. And again, the quick nano boost there from Ugly Rats playing such a big role to only allow Aki to fight for that front line. Compared to the more subtle and more usual ult charge here from Caveat, 82% only. Moises quicker, gonna get that coalescence as it should be. On the flip side, Deadpulse has his own coalescence. Aki in the meantime ready with a shatter. And the red hand side trying to take control here on Kings Row Streets. Jeps though, another flank, gonna go for the tactical advisor. Wants to face off against Shiver. There's the deep flank. There's the bubble as well, but Soldier 76 apparently kept the line. Big shatter there from down below. Aki gonna be quaking the ground. And the red hand side cleaning up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This should be a free one all the way to the near end of that second point. So as we're watching the brawl between Jeps as well as Shiver, Aki, sneaky, creepy, gets that shatter and puts everyone to the floor. In the meantime, the red hand side now uncontested on that second checkpoint. We'll get for free, easy clap, 1, 2, 3. Aki though, gonna be on the left hand side, cashing up quite low already. Shiver gonna go up on top, but doesn't get an Anubis in time from Caveat. It seems like the sidelines just weren't there. Shiver so low, still eventually gets an Anubis in time. Gets a slice on the one. Vigilance has a Dragon Strike, but able to get the hit on the Shiver instead. Now backing on, now it's on to all the way to the other side. The Zarya keeping the energy strong, and the Dragon Strike now through to the center. Will it be anyhow effective? Seems like it's not the case. Twitch Prime though, going for the grab of the search, will be able to get 3 fire grenade, gonna be there as well. Akashi right now with the uppercut onto one. The Shoryuken cleaning up checks and his fine. Another huge shatter though from Aki out of nowhere into the Nano Boost. Rat and Aki sitting on a tree, working well together and keeping combo after combo up. The on-uptime onto that Reinhardt. A well-oiled machine between Aki and Ugly Rats. Solid work so far here from the red hand side. Anyway, still a chance here for Team Blue to actually make this work. Jeps though might get caught by the punch. Oh, Rats gonna be a true sport there, tanking it up for the Soldier 76. Is it worth it though? The Ana has been an absolute MVP so far with fast ultimates. A little bit overextend there perhaps on that Ana. Akashi though, meter strike, trying to chase after Jeps. There we go with the run on by. And the Soldier 76 just scoffs at it, able to get that takedown. Ambi though with the charge. Moises going for the coalescence as well. We are gonna be able to see the blue hand side go for a little bit of that reset. Oh my god, Jeps. He was just waiting for that one to happen. Now everyone running into the Soldier 76, ring around the Rosie, a pot full of Rosie, healing, they all fall down. Tactical advisor though available, still has to run away from the Zarya. Twitch Prime looking to bully, 24 HP, isn't the buzz and the charge doesn't connect. Jeps, dude. Fleet-footed, that's for sure. Lightly perk enabled in this instance. Ambi right now going for the shatter, only going to get stunned on the Soldier 76. Shiver right now, Nano boosted up on the McCree. And here we go with the tactical advisor. Good shot though, on the good rat. Sleep dart coming from the side before Caveat dies. And the dead eye, oh, Vigilance! Perfect headshot along the way. And the sniper keeps on sniping. Aki right now. Shatter is online. Will he go for the stun onto the 2? He just destroys Twitch Prime on the corner. Doesn't care. Pounds him with impunity. The red hand side right now. So close to the end. Beautiful pin onto Ambi. Shiver though onto Doofus. Moving over to the other side. He gets the takedown onto Jeff. The payload though uncontested. This might be a C9 contest here from Akashi's time. He's finally given the Genji himself. Gets the bubble along the way. The coalescence though cannot be deflected. But Twitch Prime on point with 2 bubbles along the way. Now Akashi is so low. Will get sniped by Vigilance instead. Moises trying to stay alive. Here we go with Shiver right now, trying to transition. Aki and Vigilance getting on the board. The charge comes, not gonna be enough. Ambi right now, staggering on in. Spawn advantage here for the blue hand side, but going to flow, charged up with the Nano boost. And kill feed lights up red all around. Good show there from the red hand side. Just able to dominate, be decisive, and quicker on the ultimates. That's a big thing to take note.
Initiating match.
It's interesting with Akashi Swapping over to the Genji at last part. A little quicker though in getting the Dragon Blade perhaps against Shiver. We'll see if they are going to be able to swap those heroes, swap those roles, that kind of thing. He was around 76% after 1-2 lives tops. So kudos to him. We'll see if it's going to be how effective. The Doomfist though, not working. And I feel like they should swap things. Shiver was more effective on the Doomfist, Akashi more effective on the Genji in that small instance we saw. So will they actually go for it? Yes, it is gonna be. So Shiver onto the Reaper instead. On the flip side, Ambi, Twitch Prime going for that double barrier. Caveat and Moises playing the BAP and the Moira. Now, Caveat versus Rats was a good matchup to see as well on the Ana. Sleep darts were both effective as well as those nades. But Rat edging things out a little more effective, a little more on point with the accuracy, with the abilities, getting Nano Boost quick to keep Aki alive. And that's really a two-pronged system. Aki and Rats working together, two cogs of the same machine, and how effective. Still, a funny one was just watching Jeps run around, just enjoy running. It seems like Usain Bolt has finally found his way into Overwatch in the form of Jeps. Vigilance now going to be playing the Ashe instead. Now, playing the Ashe over like something like the Widowmaker or the Hanzo means you're still playing against the shields but looking to get dynamite value in this instance. Hanzo, better for shield break. Widowmaker, better for killing people outright. The Ashe, a little bit in between pressure, can go for a really good bomb as well. A big hefty points, a big hefty frame, but it's more about facing off against the shields with the dynamite as well as getting that ultimate quicker. So there you go, look at how quick Vigilance is getting value. Dynamite's taking that ult charge all the way to 60 already. Headshots help out as well, every 10%. And Vigilance all the way up in front. Deadpool's now. Not one to be left behind. This is what you want to see from your Moira. 70% within the first minute. Get the coalescence before the first fight even starts. And just win out and along the way. Voices though. Amp Matrix very quickly done. Go with the flow. Surprised by that one. Gonna get punished along the way. Ambi right now looking for halt. Doesn't get much. Aki's close to that shatter. Jeff's up on top. But interesting position here from red hand side. They have to figure out where they want to focus on. Akashi looking for the assassination. Gets rid of the wrap. Gets rid of the bomb. Here go with the bomb courtesy of Vigilance. There's a 2 DPS and that one big Butler trying to still stay on. Vigilance right now using his bomb to take care of the eye field. But Akashi just carving a path of destruction. As soon as that happens, it seems like the lights in his life gonna burn on down with the dynamite singeing him to a crisp. Really goes to show all the practice in the Ilios team helping out Akashi as he's close to the blade already. Shattered though from Aki, trying to turn things around, but Eyefield here out in front from Oasis, easily taken down. The Eyefield is such a easy thing to take care of. C9 don't go with the flow as it backs on out. Might be a team decision actually here from the red hand side to back on out, try and defend by the pub instead. Anyway, interesting to note that the red team is playing double hit scan into this one. On the flip side, Akashi has the blade in hand, supercharger available here for Ambi. On the opposite end, 2 support ultimates, Nano Boost and the Coalescence. Now it all depends on how the playmake is gonna work here. Akashi can initiate with that Dragon Blade, but he will have to go for that naked Hero Blade. It's gonna be very difficult for the Genji to stay alive without any support like the Coalescence. So maybe just maybe waiting for Caveat to make that one happen. Nano Busto onto Aki. It's time to brawl. Blockstow does come, and this is a big one here from Twitch Prime, landing him all down. Grabbing the surge right now into play as well. Averaging is there. It's a 2-for-1 trade in terms for the offense. Super right now. Death Blossom is available. Vigilance up on top yet again. Jeps right now on the right hand side. Tactical Visor coming online, but not gonna pop it anytime soon. So for the defense, they're playing a little frugal. They want to defend this last corner as well as possible, especially with that aimbot to help them out. But Shiver has other plans. Blows up the Soldier 76. It seems like Black Watch winning out in that fight this time. Can actually contest? Not gonna happen. It seems like it has come to a point where discipline is the most necessary thing. As Akashi now with the blade goes for the cut already on the rack. Will get that takedown. Tactical Visor though from Jeps putting in the pressure. Flow turns around. Bat signal up on top. And Akashi gonna get taken down. Bob right now to the payload as well. And this should be the right hand side stomping and stepping in position. But Shiver with a Death Blossom from behind! Surprise, surprise! The Reaper finally getting the awakening he's been needing. Blood for the gods. The Death God is happy after that one. And what do we say to the God of Death? Apparently, it is today. Beautiful that blossom there from Shiver. Shadow Step, exactly the play you want to see. Apparently we got the tail end of that one, but that was just a good cleanup crew in that instance. Anyway, Coalesce is now available here for the blue hand side. Dead Pulse as well as Aki ready with their ultimates. A good shatter. Might turn things around. Fortify is there. Gets the stun off of Twitch Prime, but just isn't enough. Caveat is said. Popping that Coalescence. Dead Pulse on the flip side has the cold, but 3 frags on the board here for the offense. Let's talk about how quick these offenses are later. Let's just appreciate what Kashi is doing, throwing these shurikens. Moises going for the Amp Matrix, and I like that Akashi and Silver have realized what they can play a little better than each other, and they are able to just understand and try to work as a team. Shiver though, still on the Reaper, trying to blow people up. Akashi in the meantime, Swift strikes on in. Ambi though, supercharge available, but I feel like the blue hand side is very hesitant for this fight. They already lost 2. I feel gonna get used up as well. Shiver right now deciding, okay, a blaze of glory, try and use the eye field. Gets to kill on the Aki because no one took care of the device. But yeah, it does allow him to get 90% in terms of that ult charge. Tactical advice now from Jeps, easily shielded up by Twitch Prime. Stun though does come, and the Soldier 76 not really the most effective pick against double barrier. Now as both sides are going for the reset, I was gonna say a while ago that both sides are doing really well on the offense. It just might mean it's a lack of discipline, as you can see there, Ambi getting run over before the shields to actually come online. It's a matter of discipline. The red hand side cannot afford to go for trades, as we talked about 1-for-1 trades a while ago in terms of spawn advantage, that kind of thing, especially in low elo. But here, when a little bit higher, a little more higher stakes, when the blue hand side is able to execute and the red hand side is able to execute in a similar way, still the offense will have the advantage, as the payload is still a objective that moves around. Now by this point in time, the defense finally having the advantage, as they will be having that spawn advantage. Still though, the combination with the Flux as well as that Blossom doesn't really fly. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but honestly very awkward here for the blue hand side so far. Still though, pick off there onto Aki. He has swapped over to the Hog. Vigilance going for the Moira, and apparently it works out in their favor. They are holding on to the Cole as well as the Dragon Blade as well, so this might be the final blow here, the killing move, courtesy of Akashi. Looking for a fatality there too, but Flow actually gonna get the halt onto Twitch Prime, tossing the 499 down below. Here we go with the Coalescence, courtesy of Dead Pulse, and Rat having the Sound Barrier available as well. Akashi right now holding on to the Blade. It's a 3-for-1 scenario here, the offense having the advantage. Can they get the takedown? Here we go with the sword unsheathed. Then it comes the dragon. The Dragon Balls are rolling around at the speed of sound and go with the flow. Gonna get cut as soon as he cops out of that fortify. So we go again into round number 2. The blue hand side having a little bit of that lesser time. But on the flip side, here for the red team, 255, we'll see who can actually take the win as King's Row resets all the way back in the front. Plays being made, ultimates being used, fights being won, blue hand side scrapping it out. Still though, shivers that blossom there from behind, giving me the shivers. Waiting for Twitch Prime to actually use that accretion into the front line instead. When you play that Oasis Sigma, you can't go for the Halt Rock. Very, very effective to blow someone up, but when you need it the most, it vanishes. And sometimes, you know, you gotta get that Earthbending Avatar back into the fold. Anyway, a minute 31, Shiver gonna go for that free instead. We'll see if he can make a spectacle out of this one. On the flip side, Vigilance playing the Symmetra. Okay, now going for the Sim in this instance does mean that turrets are going to be set around. They are going to go for the chokeholds onto these small little funnels, left, right, and center around the statue of Mondata. So though, the Widowmaker here to look for an entry fragger too, wants to go for Jeps. And interesting, he has just been on Soldier 76 the whole time. Very inefficient pick to say the least, but he has been making it work with that mobility. So though we saw a while ago between Oily Beer and Donuts, the Doomfist still really reigns king in terms of mobility. With the resources or with the speed, the Doomfist can just get around so quickly. So a little bit of a swap here. Akashi gonna go for that Sephara with Caveat going over to the Mercy, but Seaster from Oasis looking to support Shiver, but the Ant Matrix with the Widowmaker, not really the one you want to go for too much because it puts the Widow in only one spot that can get countered easily. Now Akashi flying out in the open, blows up Jeps. That's a really big pickoff against the one hero that can really deal with the far up in the air. Now go with the flow, trying to look up. Ambi gonna get that frag. Vigilance though takes care of the front line, puts it behind Ambi, and he's level 3 right now. Pretty high energy with the Symmetra being Twitch Prime though. Gonna get that takedown, still it's not enough. The Symmetra all the way out in front. Akashi right now making it rain onto the far. Will it be enough? No, too close to the ground. Icarus gonna be scratching his head after that one. 90% right now. Photon Barrier gonna be big because with Shiver on this Widowmaker, popping that Photon Barrier at any point in time will force the Widowmaker to cross to the other side. Hello from the other side. I must have shot 1,000 times and that barrier is not going down anytime soon. Still though, Jeps gonna pick off Akashi. Here we go with the Photon Barrier. And as I was saying, Shiver though onto that Doomfist instead. Good swap on that, and those overtime takes away. Desperation time here for the blue hand side. Coalescence though from Deadpulse. Vigilance right now keeping the beam on going. Akashi ready to rocket barrage. It's time to make it rain. Tactical Visor though putting in the pressure, putting in the work, and this time the red hand side gets the full hold. One tick to rule them all, one tick to bind him.
Superstition. Score.
Huge shoutouts there to Alex for the raid. Don't forget, don't forget, it's still a delay.
Initiating match.
Popping things out, 2:55 on the clock here on the red hand side. Here for the blue, gonna be on that defense. The real question is there's gonna be some adjustments here for Team Blue. They are gonna have to hold for 3 minutes, not give up any single tick of that point. On the flip side, we got a little bit of that hold hook action. Gonna be pretty exciting. Vigilance and Jep. Been playing Widow, gonna be playing Soldier 76 with Rats and Deadpulse going for that Moira Ana yet again. I've been talking about how the slow composition works here for Rat and Pulse with that extra healing. So it really is more on like the McCree Reaper, that kind of thing. You want to have that mid-range. Hanzo is something you can play as well. Keep the top up, Nano Boost, very how effective as well. But if you go back, Moira Ana, way to go. I'm expecting more Ana and honestly into the later patches. Because the shields have been neutered, easier to bunker bust, easier for the Ana to get some value yet again. Twitch Prime though, out in front, needs to set up a shield. Ambi, gonna give him a saving grace, but an Experimental Matter going down already. Shiver though, does get a good snipe onto Aki, playing that Mei right here, right now, playing to his namesake, looking to be ice cold in the reception. Akashi as well, gets that pick off onto Jeff, so good start here for the blue hand side so far. That's 30 seconds on the time back already wasted. Flow still on the Orisa though, and Aki gonna go for the Hog. It'd be a little more efficient if he goes for that Sigma instead to try and keep everyone alive. Vigilance going on with that Symmetra. So the basic strategy here for Team Red is they are gonna try to charge that beam of the Sim onto those two shields, and once everything is ready to go, time to crack, time to win. You always get ammo back when you're shooting shields on the Symmetra, but it seems like when you get hit by a rock, you are just gonna fall on down. The blue hand side, 1 minute already on this defense, doing well so far. Shield play here from Twitch Prime to protect Ambi, especially with that fire grenade in full effect. Aki though, forcing a very awkward shield here from the Orisa. This forces Twitch Prime to stay on with his shield placement a lot longer than he would have wanted. Ice Wall now to separate Aki, but seems like the Road Dog's not gonna get hampered anytime soon. Caveat though with the Coalescence, Akashi gonna get the frag on to go with the flow. Deadpool still trying to do the same. And here we go with the top up, still Aki unable to stay alive. Two ultimates though used here by the blue hand side, so it's not really the worst scenario for our offensive side. Jeps gonna get frozen around, will get caught by the hold, easy takedown there, and then Deda though still available here for Akashi. Shiver gonna have the Blizzard do as well. with a ultimate setup like this, you want to play a little more fronts because it's more effective in that one funnel scenario. Anyway, Aki right now using that right click, trying to use the Reinhardt shield to go for a peek or two. I feel it's gonna be there as well. Supercharger now set on up. Here we go with the charge. Beautiful ice wall though to stop things on. It's Strax. Teleporter now to set on up, and Akashi as well as Shiver going for the Deadeye, going for the Blizzard. Will it be enough of a freeze onto Aki? No, it's enough damage though to take that one down. Rats unable to get shot. Jeps gonna go for that sacrificer, and Akashi might regret missing those shots onto the Immovalana. Still though, the Soldier 76 up on top. Rat right now and Vigilance do get to, and yes, that is the instance right there, right then. Here for the offensive with the supports kept alive with the Blizzard as well as the Deadeye ineffective. This is gonna be easy pickings here for the red hand side to take the win.
Victory. Play of the game.
Play of the game, moving over to that Soldier 76. If this is the runaround play, then I'm just gonna laugh. But no, this is the defense here against Team Blue. Going for the shots, tactical visor, doesn't even need it. It's a Akashi isn't going anywhere whatsoever. Yeah, that was another one. That was actually pretty exciting, going all the way to a second round. So we'll be seeing one last map into this one. It's gonna be Volskaya Industries as everything does get moved around. We'll take a little break and we'll be right back when the next game is ready.
Traveling to Volskaya.
Okay guys, we're getting into it. Last map. Map number 6 of the day. Second map, third map rather, of our second set. It's gonna be Volskaya Industries 2 CP yet again. We were talking about a while ago how important it is to be decisive on these kinds of maps. And here for the blue hand side, they're gonna be on that first defense. Team Red on the attack. It's gonna be Aki, Twitch Prime, Akashi, Jeps, Rats, and Moises on the blue hand side. On the flip side, it's Ambi, Flow, Vigilance, Shiver, Caveats, and Deadpool's going yet again to fight another day. Akashi and Shiver have been separated, so I might see a Genji clash between the two. Jeps and Vigilance were a little bit of that hit scan action, so we'll see if that matchup does pan out as well. Still though, Rat and Caveat forced against each other. Deadpool's and Moises against each other yet again. And it's Aki and Twitch Prime with Ambi and Flow in this instance.
I shouldn't have.
Seems like the defense is gonna start things off with the Genji and the Soldier 760 yet again. It looks like I'm watching season 1 with these first 4 heroes, but then I realized, oh, that's Moira and that is Ana. Okay, cool, new heroes. We'll see how that works. Is that a effective strategy? There's a reason why these picks aren't really the picks anymore. But if that's what's the comfortable with, this what we want to play, then more power to you. Try to make it work. On the flip side, here we go with the Flow, here we go with Ambi playing that Ryan, playing that Zarya, Vigilance and Shiver on the Widow Genji, and Caveat and Deadpools going for the Moira Ana one more time. So it's Caveat on the Moira, but it's Deadpools on the Ana, looking to try and match Rat and Moises in their efficiency. And the flip side though, Aki and Flow. We need the brawl out in front. Truck is there, trying to protect. We go for the shot, sends a Widowmaker from Vigilance, trying to decisive, and Shiver notices the opportunity, goes for the dash on it, but Akashi doing the same. It's 2-for-1 trade. Finally, we get the Genji duel that we're looking for, and it just ends with a Whimper as the med pack is taken instead. Raptor, fire grenade onto Flow. Shiver gonna get a frag onto Jeps. The Genji right now might be a target of opportunity. Good top up here from Rats, keeping Akashi alive. And Shiver right now backing on. Now it doesn't have his tank line to protect him anytime soon. Anyway though, fire grenade is tossed. And here we go with the Flow. He's gonna be close to that Shatter, throwing that Fire Strike. Stun might be ground opening here as Flow is pushing forward, but Jeps just trips over Shiver. Helix rockets onto the side of that doorway. In the meantime, Oasis right now, Coalescence is available. A big beam of lights gonna be very, very helpful in the healing and the damage. Now, Shatter Dart from Flow, almost the fade on into that one. Very questionable from the Red Reinhardts. No really target of opportunity. Wasted the Shatter in that instance. In the meantime, it might be the Battle of Blades as Akashi is close to his Dragon Blade. In the meantime, Rats and Deadbolts. Oh, Vigilance! Beautiful snipe onto Jeps. The Tactical Visor gets nowhere whatsoever. Still though, Shiver lagging behind 68% compared to Akashi's Ready Blade, so he can actually just win out the fight outright. Rat though, looking for the angle. He doesn't get it. Where is the Nano Boost onto Akashi? Deflect onto the face of Vigilance. He doesn't shoot. And it's only 2 frags here. Caveat, sucking Akashi dry instead. And the red-hand side, sure, has to back on that. But they got the blade out, they got the coalescence. What is the Nano Boost gonna do now? Seems like a new plan here for the blue-hand side must be to grab into the Nano Reinhardt, the hammer just swinging away, toiling, doing as much damage as possible. 75 plus a half, that's around 110 damage per swing. Ambi though, gonna go for the bubble. Here we go now with the Graviton Surge onto the front line. Coalescence though is in the play, and Shiver is ready with the blade. Will he go for the dragon? Will he get Nano boosted? Just though with initial frag, and again, he needs to be decisive to win this out. Finally, here we go with the Nano boost. Shiver doesn't want to use it. He feels like this fight is winnable already, and with the first point having spawn advantage in favor of the offense, it seems like he might be right. First stick taken here, and this should be a secure for Team Red. Vigilance as well, going for sight lines, looking for snipes, and able to take care of an ugly rat. Anyway, Vigilance right now looking for a target to potentially get a snipe. On the flip side, Graviton as well as that Shatter between Ambi and Flow gonna be anyhow effective into the front. Still, Aki and Flow gonna be a matchup to remember between these two stuns. Who can get the Shatter onto the other? Seems like it's not gonna be the case because Aki will get a free one because Jeps gets that takedown. 3-for-1 scenario here. The defense preventing the initial push. They should be happy about that one because that is no momentum here for the red hand side. For the time being, 3 ultimates ready to go here for the offense. Shiver still holding on to that blade. We have Vigilance and Flow having the Infrasight and the Shatter as well. Vigilance can go for an early Infrasight to get a little bit of that UAV online action to help out his team with the positioning into this one. So they already see Jeps is on the right hand side. Just waiting to go for that tactical visor. Out of nowhere, Shiver though with a hero blade wants to get the cut. Fire grenade is there from Rats, and that is why you want to wait for that Nano boost to happen. If you're not in sync with your Ana, it's gonna be a struggle. But go with the Flow now with a beautiful pin. Jeps in the meantime, tactical visor in behind, takes care of Vigilance, but will it actually be enough? First stick taken over by the red hand side, and it looks like the offense is defending. They turn around because Aki is going for the charge, hits the center of the map instead. Akashi now on the doofus, looking for a punch or two. Caveat on the flip side, gonna go for that coalescence. And here we go with a Nano boost onto Aki as well. Rats and Aki again with the same Nano Reinhardt play. This time it doesn't lead to much, but it does stabilize here for the blue hand side. Problem here for Flow. He got fire grenaded. Deadbolt's ready with a Nano boost as well, but is holding on for dear life. Now, Team Red does have one more opportunity to go for a momentum swing. They are still waiting in the front lines, just waiting for Ambi to come on back. Only need to get one tick along the way. Aki though, waiting at the side. This might be 2 outs. Oh, Shiver almost messes up with that switch strike. Able to still stay on. Sleep Guard right now into the charge. There's no opportunity, honestly, to get the Shatter instead. But sure, Akashi gets that pick off. They're able to save an ultimate. They do lose Jeps. But overall, this should be the defense able to hold because Akashi is bouncing around. Oh, beautiful punish there from Shiver instead. Enough damage done. The Genji able to give chase. And here we go onto the backline. But yet again, Aki as well as Flo going for the shatter. Flo though winning out the fight. Graviton starts right here, right now from Twitch Prime to hold the Reinhardt in position. But an adequate Reinhardt cannot be shackled, cannot be brought down. The Gladiator combat is here and now. Akashi though, beautiful punch, pushing Shiver to the right hand side. The Genji too low, gonna get taken down. Tactical advice already here from Jeps, but someone needs touch. Soldier 76 though, 2 kills on the board. And still should be enough here for the defense to hold yet again. An Anubis here from Matt onto Aki for good measure. It is an ultimate again used from time to time. Akashi does swap over to Reaper instead, doesn't want to use the Meteor Strike instead. So overall, Team Blue able to hold for the time being. Red Dingo coming close to 1-5 territory, and they do have the Grab Blade in this next instance. All their poker chips, mighty bets onto this one play. Will it be enough? That's the real question. Position on the right hand side. Shiver right now, Dragon Blade holding on for their life. Jeps in the meantime, Tactical Advisor looking to go for a marathon run around it yet again. 5-10k run, easy here for the Soldier 76. Shiver already quite low, and that pick up on the Genji gonna be absolutely instrumental for the victory here for the defense. 2 frags on the board, the potency is gone, and the blue hand side winning the fight before it even starts. No contest whatsoever here from Team Red. Shiver right now coming from spawn. Deadpool's trying to get away, but it seems like his pulse has been flatlined as the blue hand side able to prevent the full cap. 87.1 though, still a long way to go.
Score 0-1. Switching sides. Initiating.
Not finishing up the map does mean that this is gonna be the last round of day 1. We've gone into overtime, still got things to do. Anyway, it's been a fun one to say the least, especially that King's Row. Absolutely solid to just check on out. Anyway, Aki, Twitch Farm, Akashi, Jeps, Rats, and Moises looking to win the last map of the day. On the flip side, we are gonna have Ambi, Flow, Vigilance, Shiver, Caveat, and Dead Pulse to try and defend, to try go for that full hold and try to just win out Volskaya through their grits and through their discipline. But absolutely instrumental pickup there. Getting rid of Shiver as he was holding on to Blade for so long was so difficult, not gonna work out. You really need to go for that Nano Boost play. And a little bit of an issue there. Deadpool was going for the Nano Blade on first point. Shiver held on to it and was forced to hold on it for long. You don't really get any efficiency with your ultimates banked in for that long in the first place. It's unfortunate to say the least. The little bit of the desync really costing them many opportunities.
5, 4.
Meantime though, the blue hand side, we're gonna go for the push with a dive composition. We haven't seen dive successful any yet, but there is always time to try and make it work. And Aki and Twitch Prime are on it to say the least. In the meantime though, Akashi backing on at Chips, running onto the left hand side. We do have a McCree here for Shiver, flashbang onto the Winston, but Twitch Prime, beautiful boop, pushing the McCree on back. But Aki though, still in a bad spot. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and they are just deciding, okay, we're not gonna go for the fight, we're gonna go for the point instead. But the problem here is cutting off your offensive. Okay, sure, first hit taken, and Jepstel's gonna pick off the Shiver. Apparently it'll work. Now in most instances, if you do that, your opposing team will just focus whoever is left, take them down, and then immediately transition as a disciplined unit to the point. But sure, whatever, if that works, that works. The chaos of the dive really proving instrumental here to get this first sick, and even more. Twitch Prime now gonna get the mech, but where is Vigilance? On the opposite side, Ice will out to try and retreat. And the problem here for the Mei is he might get run over, might get actually staggered for this second point defense. That was easier than you'd expect. You're going to attack the Visor. Oh, the Ice Wall doesn't really connect. Jeps though trying to track on down. Aki right now close to the Primal, gets rid of Deadfalls, and will this just be a pain train, a steamroll here to finish up the day? Aki rampaging onto the point. Vigilance though takes care of Jeps. Akashi right now close to the blade, but needs to get into line of sight of an ugly rat. Nano Boost is available. Where is Akashi? Where is Rat? They're looking for each other. Star-Crossed Lover, 1Q to rule them all. Sleep Dart is there, but they're right. Time to back on that. Still a lot of time, and with the Coalescence forced out, should be able to be pretty free with the Nano Blade later on. So big issue, of course, with the Coalescence against the Genji is you cannot deflect the big beam. So now that the coal is gone, should be a lot easier for Akashi to actually push on forward. Twitch Prime though deciding, okay, let's look for a pickoff or two instead. Aki though getting that kill onto Vigilance, and now Akashi letting the blade rip. Transcendence though from Deadfalls, and who got Nano Boosted? Apparently Aki gets in the way instead, but still the bubble shield there from Akashi. Deadfalls making the biggest mistake of his life by walking into the bubble shield. Caveat and Shiver on the opposite end. Aki placing that shield well, and the first take now taken with a team kill. Can anyone touch here from the red hand side? A desperation Lucian to try and get in position. Aki though in the way, and that is gonna be the day done and dusted. The blue hand side with the victory. Seems like the bubble shield is the real MVP after that one.
Play of the game.
Play the game onto Akashi. This has to be that last one. There you go. Pay attention to where the two are spotted. Oh, Deadfalls walking into that one. He was a little forced, of course, as the tank line was there as well. But in that instance, you want to go for that 80 strafe so you can maximize your sight lines. That's it, guys. That's the show here and now. GG to F1 and day one of the Newborns Tryouts, and it's been a fun one, especially the last two games. I would say my favorite games today were Anubis, King's Road number one. So let's say King's Road first, Anubis, and Volskaya. So solid efforts there from everyone who did hop on in. And thank you guys for the support. So hopefully it helps out in trying to see who's going to be making the roster. You can always check out the VOD here and now as well. So we'll be back on day number 2. It's going to be on Saturday, taking a little bit of sabbatical tomorrow. Going to be busy with a few other events instead. But it's been fun. It's been great. And oh, MVPs for today. Well, you can say in the first half it was Ollie, but he got a little, by the Ilios map. You can either say he got tired or maybe just underperformed, but you can see the matchup really getting in his way. I'd say Rats was a good one too. Very quick on those nano boosts, but at the same time making a few mistakes, not having the proper sight lines. Akashi had a few good blades, especially that last one, but wasn't really the biggest factor. Vigilance as well is, I can't really say who's the real. Let's just say Oily. Oily was a 3 out, and three out of 4 was pretty much there for them. Was able to exploit the matchups, exploit the lack of knowledge, that kind of thing. And when you're able to think outside the box, goes for the flanks, and sure, it works. And I still cannot forget that ML7 hop on over. Oh wait, no, I said ML7 a while ago. I didn't mean ML7. I mean PvP Twitch. He hops on over to the other side, ripped out from the back. Surprise, surprise, that's the kill. Another good one was the Death Blossom from Shiver on King's Row. But really, that blade, Akashi to Volskaya, really good way to seal the deal. Heartbreaking though for the trans to just be ineffective with a perfect shield from that Winston. So anyway, guys, it is what is still quick little FYI. Last time, Newborns from Bronze to Diamond, trying to allow these new players to showcase themselves and work in a training pool, that kind of thing. It's like an academy team, basically. And, it's been fun. It's been a great one. And thank you guys for the support today. Thank you for all the compliments. Thank you for all the follows. Who's been here? Eureka, Seabear, Cledis Flafu, Not Marky Q, Alex with the raid, Sledgehammer CSE Dollar, KTNSZ. Talk about you, Gavin Paul. Thank you for the resub to Redux, to Cyber, uh, Alex, as well as yeah, Lucas, Sarah, and Sparketic. So pretty solid there, really solid there in that instance, especially given the fact that that's a skill level, and it has been a fun one to check on out. Hopefully next time, not many issues, and we don't go 40 minutes overtime, that kind of thing. Come on, guys. I got things to do too. And it's Amindax, and I'll see you guys in the next one on Saturday. Have a good one, and have a good night.